So I had the idea, but not the funding. He had the funding.
Mr. Moneybags.
He had the funding, but no vision or idea or recipe.
There's like 16 jokes right now about the Jew needing financing.
Don't worry, we've gone over all of them.
Well, I got smited by the Jews. They kicked me out, so now they really stick it to me. I got high interest like everybody now, unfortunately.
How'd you guys
your little cat?
How'd you guys meet? Like, how'd you guys ever, like, before even the business? Like, how do you know each other?
We actually met in college. We were both going to Missouri Baptist, and we got, was it the Logic class or was it?
Western Civ.
It was Western Civ. I think we had 1 or 2 classes together, but we got paired up as class partner or project partners. Or
Yeah.
What's the word? I don't
Something
know.
like that, yeah.
Partners.
Yeah. So we wound up working on a project together, wound up just hanging out, being friends, and...
Do you mind moving that microphone just a little bit closer to you?
Yeah.
There you go. You're a little soft-spoken. No, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
All good.
Me too. What? Bitch, I talk loud. I'll speak up. Don't worry.
All right, let me reboot that. So we actually met in college at Missouri Baptist. We were in the same Western Civ class, and we got paired up on a project. And we worked on the project, wound up, I guess, enjoying each other's company, started hanging out, and just been buddies ever since.
The rest is history after that. And
Pretty
did you
much.
guys go both for the same major?
Nope.
No, we had nothing in common. So really, what it was I needed help in this subject. I didn't really understand it. It was way over my head. So I went into college with a GED, like not even a high school education. So my gap from my first 2 years in college were fucking hard, if you could imagine, right? Like I was...
Because you're just trying to catch up?
Oh my God, yeah, I was so behind. But Matt seemed to have a pretty good grasp on this. I don't remember if we got paired up or not, but I was just like, hey, you sound like you know what you're talking about, and I need to be with someone who knows what they're talking about. And then so he started helping me with that, and then he is, obviously a pretty big guy, but he was just like, hey, man, he's like, you work out a lot. He's like, I'm trying to, you help me out, I'll help your brain, and you help my body. And that's kind of really how we hit it off. And Matt's helped me in various ways. I've helped him physically in various ways, taught him how to work out, taught him how to eat clean. And
So then how was it that you guys, when you had the idea for SteinBros, the hot sauce, at what point did you bring it to Matt? Was it like early in its infancy? Were you trying to make it work?
I was doing it by myself for a year or so, but it's so much work to make a brand, just to come up with something out of thin air and make it like actually a thing takes layers and layers and layers of work. And there's no way I could have done it by myself. Even if I had the funding, there's no way I could have done it all by myself.
So it's not just the money then. There's also the value add.
He understands all the back end. No.
Yeah.
So look, all the recipes are me. The idea is me. The brand, what it represents, is me. The art, I didn't draw it, but it's all my ideas, except for a couple.
Who did it.
He's the best, isn't he?
Incredible.
He's the best.
The fact that he'd hand draw all that.
He's incredible.
I
He's
might
very
use
expensive.
him. I might do like a rebrand.
Oh, he's good.
You absolutely
should. All the business we get. That guy has helped us a lot.
Yeah.
He's really good at
expensive, though.
understanding your
Of course,
brand.
he's doing
But
it
it's
by
so
hand.
worth it.
Well, the way he makes it look is like you just give him like ideas, like you say
Yeah,
like
no, he'll do
words,
exactly what you tell him.
and then he'll fucking put it together. So like, yeah, dude, he's like,
And he has the vision for it. He
he's
understands. His
ChatGPT
name, we'll
version
give him a shout
1.0.
out.
I've worked
He's,
on him. I've worked with him
lore.
for with Lawyer Design for probably about 4 different rebrands now with my company and
really?
with other stuff. And every single time he knocks it completely
Give him a
out.
clear
of
shout
the
out.
park.
What is his name? Forgive me.
His name is Eric Hungerford, and he's behind Lore Design.
Lore.
Yes, Lore. He and I have been actually friends we've been acquainted for probably over 10 years now. We met in a church that I was going to after college, and he's an incredible designer, and he's really, really good at like understanding your brand, what it's about, and being able to pare things down and make something very easy to communicate.
His marketing for himself was genius. The
He has a
video that I
knack
saw
for it.
about like how he created your the logos for your bottles and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and like also the way he would show the failed concepts, right? So like that's the other thing you don't think about is like for you to get the SteinBros logo, how many other logos did you have to see?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we paid for all of it. And he would warn us too. He'd be like,
I'm expensive.
I can make you a few options, but it's going to cost you. And I was like, it's worth it in the end because it's really just an upfront fee. I don't pay him for the rest of my life. It's just a lot of money up front, and then after that, it's done. You know what I mean?
And then it's also the constitution of a job well done. Like when you say like I don't have to pay anymore, it's because you're not gonna have to rebrand for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like my labels are good.
Yeah,
We've done it
on
all.
the bottle and on your gear. It looks great.
Yeah, he did it all for us.
Yeah.
He designed the back. He did in the back.
that one's dope too.
Bleep for the heat. He came up with our name, Bleep for the heat.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you guys need a slogan.
Worth every penny.
Oh, it was worth all of it.
Really? You helped write some of our original like brand copy too.
Yeah.
Like coming up with like some of the tone and all of that. It was like.
So he wasn't just like doing graphic design.
No, he
for you.
sat down
was
for
doing
hours with us.
Yeah, no, he does brand. He doesn't do just graphic design. And don't get me wrong, he does phenomenal graphic
Woody,
design.
you better watch out, brother. You might get replaced. Sorry, I'm talking to my guy.
Yeah.
No,
he's good.
No,
yeah, so I did my part was like the cooking and the idea and the design, and Matt's was like all the back end, getting the internet going, getting the Shopify going, building our website, keeping our finances and everything in order.
What do you mean by that exactly?
So like, did you do any sort of like industry analysis for hot sauce?
We didn't really go too deep into industry analysis. Gabe actually had a couple of really good conversations with some of the other like local hot sauce brands, basically.
Oh, they were like forthcoming with
Bro,
information.
they are
Extremely.
the hot sauce community.
Tight.
They're like all for each other, dude. They'll tell you anything you want to know.
God
They're not
bless.
hiding anything. They'll tell you who you need to talk. I talked to this guy. He owns Hot Sauce Works in St. Charles.
Shout out you.
Robert Paleja. Super nice guy. So before I was even legal, I didn't even know what I had to do to get legal. I was making hot sauce at my house and getting AI graphics off the internet and just going to a like a shirt place and having them print me out stickers, and I was just putting them on my bottles. And
Definitely not FDA approved.
No, but I was kind of figuring it out. There'd be a dog hair or two. Literally, that's life. That is life. But
you pretty much just called him on a whim and
I called him up. No, I was trying to sell him hot sauce.
Oh.
I said, hey, will you buy some hot sauce? Yada yada. It's really good. I got some good stuff. He came by, tried it. He asked about it. He was like, where's your barcode? Where's your UPC? Where's this at? And I was like, I don't have none of that.
Gabe's like, yo, brother,
and he was
what
like, brother. So we talked on the phone for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he freaking gave me everybody's number. He gave me like all the contact info. And I didn't use everybody that he gave me, but he laid it out for like I was a total stranger. He laid it all, everything I got to do, who I need to get a hold of, where I should get my bottles from, where I should get my art from, not my art, but like my labels made. So after that, I was like, all right, I at least know where to go now. I know who to get a hold of. So I started doing that. And then eventually I got a hold of Matt, and I was like, man, I need a website. I need this, that, and the other. I was like, I don't know how to do any of that. I was like, let's just split this thing down the middle. I was like, I'll do, what I know how to do, which is the cooking and the marketing and the idea.
So when he came to you with this idea, I mean, obviously this is like his passion project, his baby, right?
Yeah.
So when he's coming to you with this idea, obviously there is the monetary gain, right? He's like, I might share your vision. I might see the value in this. But it's sometimes tough because you might not necessarily have the equivalent passion for whatever the product is or whatever the service could be. So will you talk to me a little bit about the internal dialogue that was going through your head when Gabe is coming to you with this pitch and saying, hey, for me to get over the finish line, I'm going to need a little help. Here's what I got. What do you think? What was that conversation like for you?
So Gabe and I are close friends. We hang out on the occasion, and he'd very frequently be trying to cook up different hot sauce recipes and try to refine his craft at home, and he'd always be like, all right, try it. And I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah, Matt
well
wasn't
with
really a
spice.
crazy hot sauce guy. I forced Matt to be a spicy guy.
Yeah,
He'll eat whole habaneros now.
Yeah, literally at one point.
Latino wife.
While we're getting the stuff kind of starting to roll, he was like, all right, try this. And it's like the pineapple power bomb precursor. Ooh. And I'm like, that has a lot of habaneros in it. I don't know if he's like, if you're going to own a hot sauce brand, you got to eat, and just borderline shoves it in my face like a baby. But
I have to say this, forgive me for interrupting.
Yeah.
So when you came on the last time, it was the first time I had your hot sauce, right? All three of them. The Hebrew hammer is what I call it, but that's not necessarily the jalapeno hammer.
Yeah. We'd get no sales with that name now.
Really?
If we had
Hebrew hammer. Yeah. Sorry. That's
it's too controversial baseball right now.
I don't know, bro. If you
all the Jews would buy it though.
Nick Fuentes, they're like, hey, listen, I got a product for you. I'm just saying. Now, fourth hot sauce.
Things we haven't tried.
Yes, exactly. Please don't. No, but I am a hot sauce guy. I'm like your Frank's Red Hot. I'm your Tabasco, your Sriracha. That's the go-to kind of shit. Now, by the way, I have a funny story about my wife too, because I brought that hot sauce home, and she was I guess fucking around with cooking or whatever. Here's the problem: your shit's hot, and it tastes good, but it's hot.
The pineapple's really hot.
And she was all for the flavor, and then when that heat hit, all I hear from the kitchen is, "Ah, this shit is hot."
Yeah, it'll get you.
I was like, yeah, it was
That's
good,
the hottest
wasn't
one
it?
I make.
Yes, but it's also the one that I prefer.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so fresh.
Is there a secret to that? Like
Fresh. I use frozen pineapple, fresh carrots, and a shit ton of habaneros, lime juice, vinegar, salt. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't give out the secret recipe.
Well, I mean, they can.
The
throw it together. They
ratios
can
are-
figure out
Do
the
it,
ratios.
do it if you want.
I mean,
But,
it says on the back when they look at the label. It's right there on the ingredient list. But
we're just
so
getting
we
started.
tried hiring somebody. Sorry to interrupt.
Go-
We
go.
tried hiring somebody to do it for us, and this is why it's so much better. So there's another company. I won't bash them, but there's another pretty big
When
company
you
out
say
of
hire
here.
a company to do it for you, you mean like the actual
Yeah, there's a spice
production?
company that
Okay.
will. You give them your recipe, and they will mimic it.
No, they won't.
But dog
Exactly.
shit.
yeah, no, they
Look,
won't. Because
they-
they're doing the
they-
same thing for 30 other companies.
Yes, bro. They used these motherfuckers were using Dole carrot juice, Dole pineapple juice.
Well, because you
And
gave
like
them a price, so now they're going to try to gain that margin.
I told them I'll
No,
pay
we
extra.
didn't.
You order the frozen fruit and the fresh carrots. They said we don't
gave
do
them
it.
2 tries. The first time they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, we could make this, and then they gave us like,
Oh, I was insulted
It
the
was
second
bad.
So
go
you were paying like a fixed cost.
we didn't.
It was no money up front.
Yeah.
You talk to them, fill out paperwork. They sign a waiver saying they won't steal your recipe, and you say, "All right, let's see if your lab of beautiful chemists and all these people you met with who look like they know they don't."
Like we told them
they
our
don't
like
know a
standards
damn
and
thing.
values ahead. Like we don't want a bunch of preservatives. We don't want food coloring. We don't
They
want
make like
crap
all
in
the
there.
big stuff.
Like one thing about me, I'm borderline like allergic to food coloring. I got like the type of ADHD where like red 40 is not a good thing. So that was one of the when we're starting to make the recipes. I was like, okay, let's make it clean. Let's make it like good enough that Whole Foods could put it in the store.
Yeah,
And
and that's how I eat. Like I don't eat no bullshit, so I'm not gonna, you know, what I'm saying I'm not gonna put it in my stuff
So
either.
these guys are just what, awful at this?
I mean, I'm not gonna give their name.
Or they
No,
don't.
I mean they're legit, but they're all about making money. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I get that. So like that's what I'm trying to ask though. Making money is directly correlated to making a good product. So are they bad at what they do?
No, people don't know what tastes good until they try what really does taste good.
Yep.
I've learned that too from asking people. When I'll make my sauce and they'll give me suggestions, and I know I'm like, no, trust me, that's not it. A lot of people don't know what they want. You have to like give it to them, and then they're like, and then they recognize it, like, oh, like this is what's good. I thought I knew what was good before.
well, and it kind of opened up my eyes because I'm like, we got the different 2 rounds of samples back, and one of them was basically like Bloody Mary mix.
Oh my god, it looked like tomato juice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
was
like,
the
this
pineapple
is-
power bomb.
This is there tomato in this? Like that's not listed. Like I don't know if it was actually in there, but it
Yeah,
was
me and Matt said that we were like, we
horrendous.
could sell this as Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah.
So forgive me for the context of the conversation. Let's take a step back. What was the precursor to even and I want to get back to you, Matt, but what was the precursor to even wanting to outsource the production of the hot sauce?
It's too
because
much.
last time we talked, the conversation we were having was you were making this in your home. And a part of like
No, the first time we talked, I had just got into the commercial kitchen.
Correct. Sorry, let me take a step back before then. Like you had started with like experimenting on
Yes.
recipes and stuff like that in your home.
Yes.
But a part of the process to get like approved and
Yep.
for
You
mass
can't do that
production
crap at
was
your house.
You had to go to a commercial kitchen.
Yep.
And you were like exuberant about like this next step in your business. And now
Yeah.
I even saw some of the videos that you were posting of like, look at these peppers that we have, look at these ingredients that we have.
Yeah.
We're in this kitchen, we're putting it together. I was like, oh damn, he's fucking doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that you were trying to outsource that. So let me take a step
So
back.
that was before.
So before you started doing it yourself?
I was making it at home.
Okay.
I find out that
You
Robert
have
from
to-
Hot Sauce Works informs me about this company that's local that'll make it for me. I go there, I talk to the company, they give it a couple trial runs of their version of my sauce, and I was not lying, literally insulted.
You literally did not bring this up at all last conversation.
Oh, well,
At all.
Surprise.
it's a blessing we're here now.
I thought that you were doing this like after our last
No,
conversation.
no. So
That's
I went
very
to
early on.
the big dogs of, the
So you did
spice
that
company.
first.
Yes, and I said, you guys do not make my name's going to be on it and my face is going to be on it, you guys aren't going to work. So I politely was like, I'm sorry. And then I found a commercial kitchen where we can rent and started doing it myself like
And that's
that.
how you're doing it today.
Yes, and it's a lot. It's hard, man. It's a lot of work.
Of course, because you're doing it
It would be
yourself.
so much better,
Well, and some of
but
the
I can't find
temptation
someone to
with
do it. And the only place I found that would is a place in Louisiana, and they would do it right, and they would do it to the T. But their minimum order for one flavor is like 20,000 units.
Yeah, I was gonna say economies of scale. Yes.
Oh, it's so
And like
big.
this facility
I'm
we're
like, I
checking
can't
out
afford that.
can do economies of scale very well, and that was some of what was attractive. Was well, maybe we can kind of we've done the hard work of making the recipe and making it good. If we're able to just basically SaaS mode plug and play.
Can I take step back, I actually don't think that's the hard part. I think the hard part is scaling. That is the hard part.
Scaling with quality, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
With that caveat, I agree.
Yeah.
Scaling with quality. I hate to say it this way. A good idea, a lot of people have a lot of good ideas. The difference between an entrepreneur and whatever is not an entrepreneur is being able to execute on that.
The 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, because we're going to get to this later in this conversation. By the way, I'm a part of this class as well. Like, you can still have a 9 to 5 and be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
They're not mutually exclusive, nor are they binary. It's not a zero sum. Like, you can have all of it, right? But what I am trying to say is, like, I don't think creating an idea is the most difficult part. I think that's the most fun part. I think the most fun you'll have as an entrepreneur is the first week.
Oh,
After
no,
that,
it's a grind.
After that, you start thinking OnlyFans sounds good.
No, yeah, trust me. I haven't been being like, "Wee, this is amazing." It's stressful. It's a lot. There's a lot of deadlines you got to meet, but I love it. Like, I can tell it's making me better as a person.
One of my I like quotes because they conceptualize a lot of thoughts into one thing. Jeremy Johnson was on the podcast and he said, entrepreneurship is where you are willing to work 60-hour weeks so that you don't have to work 40-hour weeks.
Yeah.
On paper, sounds stupid, right? But everybody who listens to that, who has ever thought of going into business themselves or whatever, immediately understands what he says.
Yeah.
And that is, I am willing to pay it up front if that means that my vision becomes reality. And every entrepreneur that I know, it's almost as if they have like an internal scar. Like,
Yep.
Like, you ever see like people that served in the military and they come back and you could tell that they've seen some shit and they've been through some shit and they've accumulated some soul scratches, if that makes sense, right? That's the same way I look at entrepreneurs, not in the same sense as military, not nearly as, potent. But what I am saying is, like, every entrepreneur that I've ever met, it looks like they've eaten a mountain of shit to enjoy the fillet that they now have on their plate. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I'll take a step back. I didn't realize that because the way we had the first conversation was you were just getting into that kitchen, but I didn't know that you had at first tried to outsource the production to somebody else.
And I said, "You're not gonna do it right. I gotta do it myself."
God bless.
Yeah.
That's I don't think anyone's gonna. No one will ever execute.
No, yeah. Every
your
bottle
vision
that
like
everybody
you.
buys was made by me and Matthew and my brother and our one other partner, Eric.
Let me extend this though. There's no way that you will ever be able to, if there is a constitution of growth, you will not be able to facilitate every order yourself.
Oh, no.
So at some point you will have to outsource it. And it sounds like this Illinois place was good.
Louisiana.
Sorry, Louisiana was good in terms of quality. It was the volume that was the problem.
What I would see eventually
20,000
happening
bottles. What is that wholesale?
for one flavor.
Yeah.
For one flavor, I have
you have
5
three,
flavors.
so
I-
60,000
I have
bottles.
I have more. I have new ones.
Do
to
we
show
want
you
to talk numbers, or
shortly.
do we want to keep it like?
Well, I'm just saying it'd be big money. I didn't even get to how much it would cost.
Yeah, but 20,000 bottles. Let's say it's what do you
even if it
retail
was
at,
$1 a bottle.
Yeah, $20,000.
Yeah, and that's for one flavor.
Really,
I have
take an SBA loan.
60 grand, but I'd have a lot of equity. Not equity, but
No, an SBA loan is a small business loan. I mean,
But then
I will say
we're debt free right now. We have zero debt.
So
we're
by the way,
trying to stay that way.
By the way, God bless. But I often say that if the metric for whether you're successful or not is capital, then you're just a bank loan away from success.
Also, I forgot, I can't get a business loan right now because I'm trying to sell my house and move to the country. So I can't get a home loan and a business loan. They kind of contradict each other, according to my lender.
Well,
I think you need a lender. I can get you a business loan tomorrow.
Yeah, but it can't affect my home loan.
I could get you a business loan tomorrow.
from the position that we're in at the moment, we don't.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not
That
my
makes
game.
no sense to me. They're not intertwined. The LLC or the institution or the corporation or whatever it is, whatever legal entity you've created is completely separate from you. Even if you file the taxes, like whenever you file your taxes, and it's not a sole proprietor because you have a partner, but however the structure is with your accountant, you don't need to talk to your lender. You need to talk to your accountant.
Okay, yeah, I don't have an accountant.
No offense to your lender, and no offense to anybody that I'm about to offend right now. Most real estate agents, most mortgage lenders, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The threshold to become these things is very easy. I know like 70 real estate agents. I know like 50 mortgage lenders. They didn't go to 4-year universities for these jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that there's a correlation between a 4-year university and like being, I want to be careful how I say this because I'm about to insult a lot of people. let's just say that perhaps the advice that you were given is not the most accurate, and perhaps you would benefit from a second opinion. That's what I will say, because everything you just said made no sense to me. If I
when she told me that answer, I thought it was strange because I was like, I thought an LLC is totally separate than me. Like that's a separate body.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like when you file your taxes, no. When you're getting a loan, yes, that's the whole purpose of an LLC. You're a limited liability company. And yes, you're going to have to pay a premium for the financing, but that's the part of the risk the bank takes. If the bank didn't have to take a risk, why are they charging you interest?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
It's a game. Okay, I want to take a step back. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's business for them. It's business for you. Their business is your business. They're calculating risk, and they're charging you a premium for risk. If you go in there with a shitty idea, you're going to pay a 40% interest rate because they're going to have to compensate themselves.
They need that money off the bat.
Exactly.
They're like, we'll make this back in 3 payments.
But if you go to them and you say, listen, I already have this, I already have that, I already have this, suddenly you become less risky. The only difference between getting a loan and not getting a loan is whether or not you can agree on the percentage for the interest rate, the premium you pay for financing. But when someone tells you, like, and no offense to your mortgage, whatever the fuck that was, a lender, maybe you need a new mortgage lender because everything you just told me sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I've gotten loans before that were completely separated from everything else I've done. Specifically, I got those loans because they were separated from everything else I do. Because I also have a real estate portfolio. So like my individual debt threshold and my legal entity threshold for debt are completely separated. Completely separated. When I file my taxes, these are separate things. By the way, interest is tax deductible. So there's a benefit to taking risk financially. So like, no offense to your mortgage lender, and if you're listening to this podcast, be better.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to Matt and the conversation about his value add, because originally I was like, how did you guys link up? And you're like, well, I needed money.
No, we wasn't all that, but
mostly joking.
Yeah. But in the context of the people that are listening to this, there could be someone who has an idea, whatever that idea is, and they're like, oh, well, maybe I need to get a partner for. No, if a partner is just a paycheck, don't give up equity for that.
Yeah.
The reason why you have Matt is all the other things. That's the value add.
Yep.
It's like raising a child.
What does a partner bring to this? If it's just money, get a loan. If it's just money, get a loan.
Yeah.
Capital is the easiest hurdle to overcome in any entrepreneurial endeavor because you can always borrow that. And I hate to say it this way, and if you fail, file bankruptcy. There's a reason it exists, and there's multiple chapters of it. I hate to be that guy, but call a spade a spade. I didn't make the rules of the game, boys. I'm just playing the same game you guys are, with the same rules and everything. So your mortgage lender was wrong about a lot of things. Anyway, Matt, forgive me on my monologue.
Nope.
So he came to you with this idea, and we'll get back to the kitchen and everything. But he came to you with this idea. It's not necessarily your baby, but you felt strong enough to get yourself intertwined with it, and more importantly, God bless you and your giant balls, get your money involved in it.
Yeah. I
don't sugarcoat that too, because if you want my money, you better have a great fucking idea. So I don't want to get into the financials of the company, but what I do want to get into is whatever it was that he said, that however that pitch went, you agreed. What was that feeling like to be like, all right, let's put pen to paper and let's commit to this and fork over whatever thousands of dollars I need to and time and effort and all these other things. When you decided, walk me through that day, those emotions. Do you have other businesses? Was this just a walk in the park for you?
So I do have other businesses, and my family are kind of a bunch of entrepreneurs.
God bless.
My dad's one. My mom is kind of one that's complicated. My sister's one. Like, we all have our businesses. We all try to do things with them. So, for me, starting another business is not the end of the world. One of the big reasons I said yes was because I knew that Gabe does have a pretty incredible story. And I know that Gabe is an excellent cook, has a really good concept for flavor, high quality standards. And I'm like, okay, this is someone who could make a actually very delicious hot sauce and hot sauce brand. And with the story and everything, it could be marketed well.
So did you believe in him?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that what it was?
Yeah.
God bless you.
He's a good guy.
No, the reason I emphasize on that is whenever I hear of like investors or something like that, there's always some sort of variable that catches them. So it wasn't the industry. It wasn't even the product. It was the individual.
Yeah.
You know, hot sauce is very competitive. There's a lot to compete with.
But that's a compliment to you.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, let's say you sign a check for $5,000. I don't know where you're at financially. I don't want to lose $5,000. You know what I mean? If you ask me for $5,000, I'm going to start being like, what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? When are we going to do it by? You know what I mean? I'm going to start grilling you. $5,000, that's a lot. That's material to me. So like what I'm trying to say to you is that's a compliment. He's willing. He's not just saying that he believes in you, because anybody can say they believe in you. I can like your Facebook post. I believe in you, Gabe. He's putting his money where his mouth is. That's beautiful. That's how I feel about it anyway.
Yeah.
So came to him, pitched it. He liked you. Off to the races. We tried to outsource the manufacturing of the hot sauce, and not necessarily up to the quality standards.
A good chunk of that was my idea, because
outsourcing it.
Yeah.
For what, margins?
Well, basically automation. Ultimately,
Yeah.
I'm a tech guy.
Scale, yeah.
For me,
if
it's
it
like
grows, you can facilitate orders.
Yeah, being able to just plug and play things together. If they work right, then you can have a viable product. So some of my idea was, well, let's see if we can automate the process of actually producing the hot sauce, and see if it actually lives up to our standards, which are high. And we weren't able to find anything that was basically within our order volume that would actually work with it. So we decided, we're just going to make it all ourselves for now. And if something comes down the road, we may reconsider having it produced elsewhere. But for now, like, the best option to make sure that it is high quality and it does taste good and that all the ingredients are good and fresh and all of that is to just do it ourselves. So in some of our kind of sort of agreement, Gabe's the one that's producing it. I mean, I'm helping out, but I'm not that much of a cook. I'm not that much of this, that, or the other. I'll
have you carry the boxes.
Yeah. And, maybe get maced whenever we're, putting all the habaneros in the blender and just like, I'll tell that's not fun.
What was that like then, if you don't mind me asking, going into that kitchen for the first time and quote unquote mass producing this product?
I was like, holy shit, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good feeling. It was kind of like your first MMA fight. We were like, holy fuck, like, I'm no longer telling people I'm this. Like, I'm actually it.
Yeah.
So it was a good feeling, honestly.
Did it make you appreciate all the work that it had to take just to get to that humble point?
Oh, yeah. We got there fast, though. The people who let us use the facility, they're like an incubator. So they're called Kitchen Hub, but they own 2 Men in a Garden pickles and like salsa and stuff. You see it all over town. Pretty good people.
Magazine?
Salsa.
Oh, Salsa.
Two Men in a Garden is their brand.
Me, I thought you said Sauce the magazine. Sorry.
No. Yeah. But they told us, like, you guys have accelerated faster than like anybody we've ever dealt with. They're like, I got all my classes done, all my FDA stuff, all my college courses. I've all my food testing. I've busted it all out like right away. And they were like, you guys are like, nobody's ever gotten this far, this fast. So it was a good feeling, but I got to that commercial kitchen pretty quick. It wasn't like a 10-year road to get there. I was like, from idea to there, I was there within 2 years.
We call that inception to date. So
A what?
Inception to date.
Yeah.
God bless. I do have to ask. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time we were on the you were on the podcast. We were having a conversation roughly about, you were just getting started in the kitchen. You were starting to produce the bottles with the new labeling and everything. In fact, I still have this. You for those that don't understand, he gave me 2 sets. So we have a couple for the podcast studio. All the bottles that you got me and gifted me, we actually bought again. I don't know if you know that, but we bought again and you shipped it to our house. I don't know if
beautiful.
you know that. Yeah. We can talk off the record because I'm not trying to dox myself, but I appreciate that. So all 3, I call it the Hebrew Hammer, the pineapple. Anyway, because my wife and all of us like it. Okay, let me take a step back before I do the question. It is so rare that someone provides a good or service that's like tangibly good. Like, it's not outsourced to China. It's not manufactured overseas. It's not, cutting corners in all this ways. And like, you can make I want to be careful how I say this. There's always this cost benefit analysis of like, what does this cost me for what I'm getting? I don't even think about the cost anymore. For me, truly, it's like, is it good?
Matt, we're raising our prices.
Yeah.
You should.
No, we got we had to lower them actually.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, we're trying to get into we're trying to get into Schnucks and Dierbergs, and if you want to do that, you gotta compete with all the other sauces, which are
Why?
because
Say you're
otherwise
premium.
they won't do it.
Market as I'm better than the guy to my right and my left.
So
We are too.
Because you got motherfuckers like me. I want to be careful how I say this. 'Cause I'm not trying to sound super douchey, and I'm sure there's other people like me. So I'm not gonna like putting myself on a pedestal. I don't even look at the fucking prices on shit. I really don't. When I go to get the milk, I get the Horizon. Why? Because it's the best. When I get the pasta, I get not the Barilla because I know that that's like low. I'm literally going to the supermarket and I will pay a premium for these products, and I don't feel bloated. I don't feel like shit when I eat and all these other things.
You're saving money because in the end, you're not going to pay $8 million for cancer freaking shit.
We can get into
the
the topic of
problem is-
macroeconomics of it. Trust me, I'm here for it.
It's
But
cheaper
what
to
I'm
eat
trying
healthy.
say, though, is dude, Whole Foods is literally bougie supermarket. There's a whole industry for bougie shit. So like, I'm sorry to say this, but like, if someone told me to lower my prices, I'd fuck you. You can't afford me.
Yeah, no, that's what we'll be.
I'm not going to lower my
We're in
prices.
talks
'cause
right
I have
now.
to
We'll
lower
see
my
what
standards.
happens, but
yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to. It's your business, not mine. What the
But
fuck
you
do
actually,
I know?
you actually said the exact problem. When you go to the grocery store,
Yeah.
you get good products.
Yeah.
The problem is we're not in grocery stores right now.
yeah.
Right now, everything that we do is sold online.
You also
We
have,
are in-
you have
we
some
are in-
shelf space places I've seen though.
No,
not
yeah,
major
we're
grocery
in.
stores.
Forgive me.
We're in a handful of locations, but yeah, no major grocery stores.
And to get to like the Schnucks, the Dierbergs, the whatever, you gotta jump through hoops.
Oh, it's a lot of
Yeah.
hoops. Yeah, it's a lot, and they beat you up.
And I don't
it's
think we should.
competitive. It's competitive.
I don't think we should discuss some of the particulars
Yeah, no,
that
probably
we've
not.
learned. Just,
Yeah. By the way,
I mean, you're playing hardball. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying you're playing.
yeah.
You want to play with the big boys, you're gonna have to play.
Well,
with the
you're
big
also
boys.
negotiating because I mean, from their perspective, they're retail, you're wholesale, so like their margins are built into whatever they can get out of you.
Yeah.
If they can get your product for cheaper, hey, lower your prices. Are you sure they're gonna lower their margin? If you lower it by $1, are they gonna take that out of their cut? No, it's gonna come out of your cut.
It's all us.
So that's all I'm saying.
In order for us to produce at the standards that we have, with the quality of ingredients that we have, like our base cost to produce a single bottle is arguably substantially higher than almost anything else on the shelf.
Because
Oh,
of
it's
economies of
way
scale,
higher.
because of everything else.
And then whenever
Yeah.
we start to apply all the margins and everything, it makes our shelf price very unattractive, I think,
What's
to grocers.
just out of curiosity? I'm not trying to get into the books, but like, what does the average hot sauce go for, and what are you guys going for?
The average hot sauce goes for probably like $6 to $7 at the grocery store.
Okay,
Maybe even less. There are bottles for like for $3-4.
I'm not buying that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a red flag to me. But anyway, what would you go for?
Right now we're 10. I think I'd probably have to sell for like 9 there, and I have a Louisiana style, which I'd have to sell for 7.
What is it? Forgive me, I'm ignorant to this. What is the Louisiana style like?
It's just a cheaper, more basic hot
Gotcha.
sauce. It's like Frank's Red Hot, all that other stuff.
Gotcha.
So I actually since I've made 2 more hot sauces since we've last been on, and I got a spicy
hot
honey
honey?
as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that I don't make the hot honey though. That I don't make.
You've outsourced that.
I didn't even want to outsource it. So this gentleman I buy my peppers from wholesale, he gets a hold of me and he says, "Hey, I have the best spicy honey you've ever had." I said, "Okay," and
Both of us were like,
Yeah,
we don't.
he's like-
we don't
he's
wanna
like,
buy
I
that.
didn't
sell
even
it?
know that was a product
yeah.
until I saw your post. I was like, what? So
Yeah.
anyway, forgive me.
So he tells me, so I have the best spicy honey. I said, I'm not really interested in selling. I said, I don't want to sell anything that's not made actually by me and my recipe, because everything I have is all me. He says, okay, sounds good. I get my order of peppers in the mail a few days later, and there's 1 bottle of spicy honey in there. I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'll try it. I've tried several spicy honeys. I tried the spicy honey. I called Matt, said, come over here, you got to try it. And he lives in Illinois.
Yeah.
He come over, tried the spicy honey. We called our artist. We were like, hey, we're going to need a label for some spicy honey.
Yeah,
We called
immediately
Baccares, the
convinced.
gentleman who I
That
get my
good.
peppers from, and we ordered like a couple hundred bottles right there.
God bless.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
really
incredible. I have that, and I have a competitor for you to compare them.
So when you were here last, you only had the 3 bottles, right?
Yes.
And then since then, you've expanded to both the Louisiana style.
Yes, I
and
have
the hot honey.
And I have one called El Toro Loco. It's like it's not a Chipotle, but it's like a smoky.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's my favorite.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do like.
I brought a rotisserie chicken and those for you to
That's funny.
really get the.
When I go to Chipotle, I don't go for the hot sauce. I go for that Tabasco smoked.
Yeah, that
That's
one's
my-
good.
That's my.
That is
that's my
good hot
favorite.
sauce.
It's like it's hot. It hits, but it's also got that like barbecue flavor to it.
Yeah.
For me personally, everyone's got their bias. For me personally, that's the best. A barbecue / heat to it. Oh my God, I'm your Huckleberry.
It's not full barbecue, but you'll
No.
like it.
Actually, the best way
like
to describe it is it's like 70% heat, 30% barbecue.
you're gonna
if that
love
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, dude, you're gonna
you're
tease
gonna
me with
love
a
it.
good time, boys.
Because that's a flavor profile I love. I love Chipotle. I love like smoky, sweet heat.
You know what I thought
barbecue.
to myself? The first time I had smoked Tabasco, because that's what it was. At Chipotle, I was like 21 years old, 22 years old. I had the smoked Tabasco, and I was like, why does everyone not do this?
Right? Yeah,
You know,
right
why
away
does
you're
not
like,
everybody do this.
You
This
think
is
that.
fucking amazing. This guy's like best of both worlds, barbecue and hot sauce. Yep, sign me up. Because I used to do like dry rubs for like heat on barbecue. I used to do some of the dry rubs, and then I'm like, oh, like it doesn't have to like you don't have to like chug a soda when you're eating barbecue. You can just have a sauce. Forgive me. I went once again down a rabbit hole. God, I'm awful at this. So you guys added to the repertoire, or sorry, not the repertoire, but added to the catalog of products. I'm guessing in the last year, there's been a lot of growing pains, a lot of, I don't want to call them mistakes. I'm like, I call them happy accidents.
yeah,
right?
exactly. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Bob
Happy
Ross,
accidents, yes.
you know what I mean? Since the last time we've spoke, what would you think would be like the number one happy accident that you guys had to learn a lesson perhaps a little harder than you wish you would have had to? Would it be trying to outsource to the production? Would it be a catalog extension? Would it be understanding the industry better? Perhaps like a financial issue? What do you think was like the number one hurdle that you guys had to overcome? You guys can both answer. You might have different,
Yeah, let's hear Matt's
from
input.
different perspectives. You might have different answers.
Yeah.
I think the hardest hurdle that we not only had but currently have is actually marketing.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to best communicate our brand and communicate our brand's values, and like communicate like, hey, we have this delicious hot sauce that's more expensive than you're going to pay for pretty much any other hot sauce, but we swear it's good. Being able to convince people of that through any type of digital medium it's hard.
Well, it's you're a drop in the ocean. As a guy who has a podcast,
And
I'll
we're
tell you
not
right now,
experts
it's
at
fucking
that.
hard. Yeah.
We lack that skill. Me and Matt both lack the social media.
Same boys, we're on the same shit.
Twang or whatever you want to say. Touch.
So then for him, it's expansion and notoriety and marketing. For you, what would you say it is?
I'd have to say probably the same.
Same thing.
Outside of that is actually making it, because
And
it's a
that we
lot of work,
figured
like
out.
making it, bottling it.
Let
and all that
me ask you a
jazz.
question, just kind of like, let's say tomorrow you get an order for like 5,000 bottles. Can you facilitate?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So production is not necessarily the issue. It
There-
would be,
the
We'd have to
order
get a
might get
couple.
delayed
We'd
a
have to
week,
get.
but
We'd have to up our equipment a little bit.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
their equipment that we use at the kitchen, it's not all like perfect. Like we don't have a full assembly line where we load everything. It chops it, bottles it, goes down to something like it's.
you're doing it by hand.
It's pretty archaic.
the
yeah.
kitchen's more optimized for salsa, and
Yeah.
we're one of the only hot sauce, like pure hot sauce companies in that facility. So like, we don't have like a hot sauce bottling machine, but
Yeah.
like, if we got like a huge major order, we'd probably
No,
take
yeah,
an
we'd
SVA
figure it
right
out.
out and get it.
Yeah, well,
We
we
would
just
figure
we
it
know
out.
where to get the equipment we would need. We just have to make it worth it.
5,000 is not. You said 20,000, but hopefully you get an order for more, and then you can always use that Louisiana location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see eventually, really in a perfect world, whenever I sell my house and I buy a new one out in the country on some land, I have a separate building. I already talked to my FDA lady. She said that as long as it has to have like an actual ground, it can't be a dirt ground. It has to have running water, and it has to have a 3-tub sink, and it has to have electric, and it could be a FDA certified building. It's not that hard to get
To what? Then start producing the hot sauce from that location?
Yeah, like at my house. Not at my house, but if I lived on 10 acres and I had my home and then I had a separate building
Or
detached.
when you purchase it under the LLC and not yourself as an individual. Call it a commercial kitchen that you live at.
Well, you can't live at your commercial kitchen.
How do they?
I wouldn't want to do that anyways.
It's land you're buying, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I guess.
Either way, in a perfect world, I do my thing at home and then I walk over and I have some people that I hire in the town to, do majority of the work, and I kind of manage it and make sure everything's going how it should.
I think long term you'd probably be more satisfied with having a home that's located relatively close to a kitchen that you own that produces it.
And
Let me
that's
know
the issue
long-term,
right now
yeah.
is like that Is it like logistically difficult?
It's not terrible. I mean, we get everything done. Our biggest issue is just we need to get sales, get it moving. We don't have making it is not that hard.
We do have
it takes
plans,
some work, but it's not hard.
We have plans in place to appropriately scale if we have like some type of event where we start getting like we have the potential capacity to produce thousands of bottles a month, no problem. But we're not currently getting those orders. We also really haven't.
I'm like sweating to death.
Yeah. Sorry.
Keep talking.
Well, you're also blocking the camera.
Hot. Literally.
He's so hot.
In my defense, I didn't tell
Don't
you to wear a hoodie.
Well, it had my logo on it.
I'll wear it.
And it's like 10 degrees out.
Yeah, your like head is turning red.
Yeah, I know. It's hot out. I was like, man, I'm hot.
We know we have a mutual acquaintance. She has her own brand. She does her own thing. And the last conversation I had with her was, I'm in the digital namespace and logistics. So like I'm not necessarily like worried about like the products per se, because they need to be shipped. And this is, I don't have to worry about inventory. I don't have to worry about the quality of the ingredients that go into the product. You know what I mean? So like there's a lot of variables in this that I gotta be honest with you guys, ignorant towards. I feel like I think that you guys are trying to do something that is immensely difficult.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like it is proving to be so, because it's hard.
To be fair, we knew going in it wasn't going to be
Yeah,
easy.
well, of course. Well, I think all entrepreneurship in any industry is difficult, but I think that certain industries present different variables of difficulty. Some people have strengths and affinities towards, some people don't. And I just think that this one is, the restaurant business is rough. Anything to do with food is just, it's tough.
One thing that I was thinking about the other day, actually, one big thing we have on our side is, since we're an acidified food that's shelf stable, we have time on our side. My product is good for
2 weeks.
My product is good for at least 2 years from the time that you open it. If you didn't open it, it'd probably be good for 3 or 4. We say 2, but so we have that on our side. Like I'm not running a taco stand to where I'm throwing away product that doesn't get sold every night. Like if it doesn't get sold, it will get sold in a week later. Yeah. So that is one big thing we have on our side is we can kind of stockpile up, and then we're ready. We know it'll sell.
Well, and for the most part, though, we are keeping our inventory relatively low because we want the products to actually be relatively fresh when they ship.
Yeah.
Just because it lasts for 2 years doesn't mean that we want it sitting on a shelf for 2 years.
Cook it now to sell it a year from now.
No, not at all. But that's just the one benefit we have to like running a taco truck or something.
So if you both have kind of come to the same conclusion of like the main hurdle, what would you say is the remedy to this? Like what would be, obviously you're on a podcast, so like I'm sure some of this is that, but
you told us you were going to fix everything before we got on here.
Did I?
You were like, come on here, you're set.
We literally signed
You
a contract.
said it was like
over
Shark Tank-esque.
All right, listen, 50%.
there. Yeah, right.
No, just keep staying consistent. I've learned in anything in life, especially from being a martial artist, consistency always pays. It might not pay fast, but it always pays.
Discipline is not a verb, it's an adjective. You don't do discipline, you are disciplined.
Exactly.
And I have to always tell my wrestlers that, because I'm like, listen, I'm not disciplining you, I'm teaching you discipline. These are two different things. And I will agree with you 100%. The same thing in athletics is the same thing in business. It's easy to strike gold like once, right? We've all had that night where we're like, oh my God, all the stars aligned. We felt great, whether it's like business or athletics or corporate America, whatever it is. And you're like, I'm the fucking man. And then the very next day you are just eating shit. And that's because like consistency is the hardest thing in all of life. To be consistently good at work, to be a consistently good husband, to be a consistently good entrepreneur, to be a consistently good friend. That's the hardest thing. So you're absolutely correct when you nail that. And that is the number one thing I hear from everybody that I talk to that owns their own business. Regardless of industry, regardless of task, regardless of role. Everybody says the same thing. Is like, we just have to keep going. We just have to keep going.
And I'm pretty good at that. I'm good at staying on task. If I commit to something in my head, I'm really good at staying on it.
So then to go back to my question, though, while I agree with the comment of discipline, my question was more catered to what do we need to do different? So we've acknowledged that there's an issue, and that is the marketing, the expansion, the growth rate. And then we've also said, like, okay, one of the ways to remedy this is discipline and consistency. Agreed. But it's not actionable. It's like theory and application. So, like, theoretically, you're correct. Application, what does that look like? What is discipline? And if I keep making hot sauce bottles, but I don't make a Facebook post, will I sell hot sauce bottles?
Yeah, no.
Maybe if like people talk about it, maybe. But maybe there's like better ways to do that. I'd be curious to ask you guys, like, what are some of the things? You're on a podcast, so like I'm kind of answering some of this question myself.
The format answers the question.
Yeah, but like outside of the podcast, what are some other things that you guys are experimenting with?
Well, probably over the last 9 months for my business, my primary business is IT consulting. I provide a whole bunch of different solutions to a whole bunch of different types of companies, and I mostly work with currently nonprofits and actually churches. But we're trying to figure out how to orient more toward for-profit businesses, specifically small businesses. But the kind of epiphany I had about 9 months ago is that we really got to figure out how to properly engage with social media.
Yes.
Because if you're able, that thing, it can be a money printer. That if you use social media appropriately, if you have a good story, if you're engaging, and if you rage bait people just enough, I'm just kidding, you can bring your profile for your brand very high. So some of we have a product that is uncompromising. It's high in quality. And we're staying vigilant to that. We're not going to be changing that. Even though it'd be fun and nice to be able to automate as much of that as possible, I don't really actually see that being
If you sell me tomato sauce, I swear to God.
Yeah, right. Here, we'll make a special tomato sauce batch just for you. And we'll have to give it to you. So therefore, it's not a no, I'm kidding. But no, I've been spending several months of my time trying to figure out how to best actually provide services from an IT front that would equip a business like a hot sauce company to be able to better market themselves.
It interests me that you guys aren't necessarily catering towards the e-commerce and you want like a physical location. Can I ask why? Like, why do you care about Schnucks or Deerbergs? Just because of the eyes? Is it that powerful?
Because there's so many locations. There's hundreds.
If you're
if one guy says yes, so right now we go to individual stores. We talk to one guy, and he says yes or no for my one store. Right now, if we get into Schnucks and Deer, we talk to the one person at Schnucks, one person at Deerbergs. Boom, we're in 250 locations. And that's just a lot of eyes.
These conversations with them,
which will lead to our online sales, I believe would boom, right? Even if they see it, just people seeing it everywhere will draw attention really good. So it's like it's a good intersection.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I might be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong.
I think the more you develop a physical presence, the less your e-commerce makes sense.
I am inclined to think
if I'm only buying it because I'm seeing it, why would I ever think about it when I'm not seeing it?
All I hear is they're buying it.
That's fair. That's fair. From your perspective, I agree with you. But it's more of like an approach standard. Like, what do we want to be? The answer could be both. Like, we want to expand our e-commerce and our physical locations. Fair. The approach could be like, well, Ariane, the future is digital, so we only want to go to e-commerce. There's an argument to be made for that. And there's also an argument to be made for, like, listen, we can use a pre-established brand, we can use a pre-established physical location and their network and their logistics, and we can really hyperscale our business overnight if all we can do is get one person to say yes. That also makes sense as well. So then my next question is like, what is that threshold for saying yes? You know what I mean? And by the way, I understand that I'm asking a lot of questions about like under the hood of the business. And I'm trying to keep this high level. So like I'm not asking numbers. Like they wanted us to sell the bottles for $3 and we wanted to sell it for $3.25. That's not really what I'm asking. If that's the case, you could be like, well, we have a difference of opinion in terms of, wholesale versus retail. Fair. That's where I want to keep this conversation. High level, but I am interested in some of the logistics.
So some of my, I guess, like inspiration for actually investing in this company is scrolling around on TikTok and seeing all of these like drop shipping brands that are just popping up and just like super basic things. All they're doing is a little bit, medium amount of marketing, and they're raising that product's profile and they're selling a whole ton of it. Now, this is, in my head, I'm like, how do we match that scalability with a product that's actually high quality? And like actually takes time to produce. So a lot of the work I guess we've been doing is figuring, this might be more so on my end of things, but how do we design our business plan in a way in which we have the capability to actually adapt to higher scale without all of the investment that's required in it. So like,
because that's the other thing. What if Chinooks comes tomorrow and says, "Yeah, we want it, 100,000 bottles"?
then
It's
could
like,
get it
oh
done.
shit.
It'd be a good old shit though.
Yeah. 100%. But like also, even success brings about hurdles, right?
Yep.
I graduated college with a cumulative GPA of 3.3, and I had a 8th grade education going in. I'll figure it out. For real.
That's one of the reasons I decided to work with Gabe on this.
That's the
He's
mentality
got
you need.
a lot of drive.
No, I don't mean this as a like you can't do it or like it's a bad thing. I'm actually asking the question is like it is a possibility that you do get the approval, that you do get the yes instead of the no. Well, then now the onus is not on you to get the business. The onus is on you to facilitate and what's the word I'm looking for here? Execute on what you've promised, and that begets its own set of hurdles. You made the joke earlier, like we get that order, then we will get an SBA loan, implying that like if capital, it goes back to my quote.
Oh
of
yeah,
like,
we would have to just to afford ingredients upfront cost.
Yeah. You're gonna have to take a look.
Oh, yeah,
Who cares about debt? Yeah. I will finance. I tell everybody, I'll pay $10,000 to make $50,000 any day.
Oh no, that's what we'd be doing.
You know what I mean? Like
we'll get our money
sure,
back. It'll
sounds
come,
great.
Yeah.
And that's why it would be worth it. I'd be like, all right, good, because if we get it, I mean, it's got to sell, but it will sell.
So, to go back to the original question, what is that main hurdle? Like, why do you think you guys are being told no, or why are you not being?
Well, we haven't been told no. We're in talks right now.
Okay. So then, I want to be careful.
It's up in the air right now.
Okay, I want to be careful how I
I'm
ask
waiting
these
to hear
questions.
back
So you
right
haven't
now.
had a response yet.
No, they like our product.
Okay.
But we were supposed to hear back by December, and it's January. We haven't heard back.
You're not
yet.
going to hear back. You're not going to hear back till March.
No, well, hopefully not. But that's when.
Sorry.
Is what it is. We'll hear back when we hear back.
Inside baseball.
But no, we have. I've hit these grocery stores from a few different angles, and they like our product.
I might be able to help you guys. I have both contracts with Deerbrook's and Chinooks. Off the record, we should probably talk.
Yeah.
Sure.
The more the merrier.
I have no idea.
The more people telling them, hey, this is a good product.
I have no
so
idea.
we've already given them our samples. They have our samples.
I have no idea to what extent I have leverage. I will. Let me start with that.
You
right?
told us you had all the leverage, so I'm just kidding.
No, I have my own companies and I do my own businesses, and I have some connections there. And perhaps it's just like an email that I can give you, and then you guys.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's not communication that's the issue.
No.
If I can help in any way to like differentiate you from the pack, like we'll talk off the record. But forgive me, we were talking about the possibilities of in the next couple of months hearing back from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we hear back from them, that'll be a great boon to the company. But at least in part of my business philosophy, I'm not necessarily counting on it.
Yeah, you can't bank on it.
In my business strategy for it, I still kind of see SteinBros as being an e-commerce first brand, because like with e-commerce, with the internet, with all of that, like your audience is the whole world, or at least with our Shopify restrictions
Wherever you
in the
can
US.
ship to.
Yeah. Wherever you can ship it. And if you have a good product and an engaging story and you utilize those things properly, then the world's your oyster. We haven't been utilizing it properly, and that's why we haven't grown quite the way that we should. But I'm more
I don't know if we haven't grown. We didn't get serious about this company until March of 2025.
Yeah.
Is when me and Matt were like, all right, we're actually like going all
doing it.
in. Before we were kind of just like treading water, you know what I mean?
When did we do our episode? I want to say it was like a year ago.
It said 7 months ago. I was just looking at it.
Seven. So I'm doing way too much. So roughly middle of last year. So if you're talking about March,
June, I think it was.
so then we had our episode roughly shortly after that.
Yeah.
Let me ask one more question, and this last one, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. Okay. There's a lot of companies that start out with two mentalities, and that's acquisition or longevity. What I mean by that is there's a lot of companies that like they'll start with a vision, with a plan, with everything, and their goal is fuck your money, I'm gonna grow this son of a bitch, right? Then there's a lot of people that are looking to be acquired, where it's like you have a great idea, you have a great product, you're showing the preliminaries of execution with the intention of being acquired or bought out. Tabasco comes in and says, Gabe, stop doing what you're doing. We're going to give you $5 million. Get away. Not because they want to buy the product, but because they want to kill it. Perhaps. Maybe they adopt the product. Maybe. But more than likely, it's like we don't want a competitor, and we see that you're up and coming and all these other things. So let me ask you guys a preliminary question: is like, where do you see this as an as an entity? Is this something that you want to be doing for the next 30, 40, 50 years? Or is this something, and by the way, there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong answer. Okay, I have venture capital friends, I have hedge fund friends, I have blue collar and white collar friends. There's no wrong answer to this question. You are not being judged by me, because I think all answers are acceptable. I want to say that. Are you thinking of this like, I'll see you in 20 years, Matt? Or are you thinking, hey, when we get the highest offer that we think we can get, golden parachute, we'll go on to the next?
My line of thinking is this is aimed toward longevity. I mean, the brand is SteinBros. It's not something with a random name. Like, this is in Gabe's namesake. So, you know, reality, I think him selling it off would be like him selling off a piece of his soul in a little bit of a weird way. So I think SteinBros will be around to stay. I don't really see it going anywhere in terms of acquisition or being bought up by Tabasco and being killed off. I know Gabe's probably over here like, but the money.
I am Jewish.
I was going to say it.
But my line of thinking is like, if a business is willing to, let's say, approach your company and say, hey, for $4 million, we just want to buy it all out.
For a few million, I wouldn't
I'm out.
do it.
$4 million, I'm out. I'll sell you my company for $4 million.
But even if they come up and they say, how about $1 billion?
No, yeah. If it's
Even
like
more.
some money, oh, yeah.
My dick can only get so hard.
If they're willing to offer that
$4
much,
million.
it'd be a lot. But
Yeah. 50-50, $2 million each.
No, we have a third
And then
investor.
here's the
We'd have to
thing.
give
Now
him
you
10%.
have here's the thing I say about money.
40.
The hardest thing to do is not make $1 million when you have $100,000. It's to make $100,000 when you have one.
Yeah. No, right.
Economies of scale are
When the money
fucking
starts,
real.
it can keep
So
going.
when you got $2 million now, whatever the next project is, whatever. Listen, I don't think entrepreneurship is tied to an industry or an idea. It's a mentality. It's a lifestyle. So like if you made one, you're gonna make more.
That's
than
what
one.
I'm thinking. Yeah,
Does that
no.
make sense?
If
That's
somebody
why I asked the question. So he said longevity. But before we get on to the next part of this conversation, I want to hear you. And if the answer is like I would sell, what would be the number? Or maybe the answer is not sell. That's also true. By the way, I will say this: I do have a number. If someone wants to buy this podcast, there's a number. If someone wants to buy my house, there's a number. If there's someone wants to buy my logistics company, there's a number. If someone wants to buy my producer, there's a number. Sorry, Adam.
I produce hot sauce.
you want to jump?
is
No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I'd like to take it long term, but let's say we have a lot of hiccups and things are going hard, and I'm just getting my.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying everything's going right.
Everything's
you
going
want to
right.
be acquired. No one wants to buy a failing company. You're not going to get acquired if things are going bad.
Well, I'm not saying the company's failing, but if, let's say just life on the end. I'm like, man, I need some money on my life. Not talking about the company. Like, I just need
if
a
the
bump.
company's going good, then you'll have the money.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying.
If
mine is
everything's
not with
going
the
good, I
caveat-
probably wouldn't do it.
My question is not that with the caveat that like, yeah, Gabe, you're having tough times, and someone comes in with a golden parachute. My thing is like, no, you're doing
No, I'm
well.
already flying. I don't need a parachute. I'm already flying.
So you're not selling
Then
longevity.
I probably wouldn't
10 million.
because if I'm making, let's say my
10 million
company's,
is my number right now. Would you say yes or no?
if I'm profiting 200, if every year I'm getting 200 grand in my pocket profit out of all the work I'm doing, I'd probably tell you no, because that's enough to live how I want and it'd keep my purpose going. And I'd be like, I'm going to have to do something. Like I don't believe in, I'm young, right? But even as being a young man, like I don't believe in retirement. Like who would want to just be like, all right, so now I just sit in the couch until I die. Like I would prefer to work till the day I die doing something I enjoy doing though, right? Not something that I hate. Because that's just how I am. Like I can't, the kind of person I am, I can't, like Matt will tell you, I can't sit still. Like,
No.
what you're seeing me right now is the most I'll ever sit still. Like I can't ever sit down. I have to always be doing something. But
God bless.
so if things were going good, I would just be like, no, I'm just gonna keep doing this. I mean, sure, there's got to be a number. If it was like 100 million, I'd probably,
I'm not even talking about that.
Even if it was
I told
like
you, I
10.
sold my business for 4.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I could always just sell it and start a salsa company with a different name. And using that money, I could always repeat itself.
Trust me on this one. If you get to the point where you're getting acquired, there is going to be a lot of legal
Thick no
paperwork.
competes, and you can't
You're
do
not,
this.
Not just no competes. but
It'd have to
you're
be like a clothing line. The next thing I started, something totally not
completely unrelated. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a hoodie brand called SteinBros. let alone
Ooh,
hot
I could start
sauce.
SteinBros Mace Company.
There you go.
Staying with the spice,
Oh no!
but it's only for
Dear.
you're outsourcing to cops now.
yeah.
The reason I bring that up is there's a lot of people that have like different metrics for success in business, and I've met people that have solopreneurships where they're positive cash flow. What I mean by that is they have an LLC, usually blue collar work. They work for themselves and they make great living, right? It's a business. It's their business. They're their own boss, but they take on all the responsibility, all the pressures, all the logistics. Then you get more to like the 10, 15, 20 employee businesses, and you start to realize that like, holy shit, like expansion it hurts to grow, literally, because now you're going to have to start including, I hate to say this, let me start with a bit of a finance course. There's called capital expenditure and operating expenditure, CapEx, OpEx. OpEx is the money that you have to spend to operate a business. It does not bring you any money.
No,
This is like HR. This is like, I hate to say it, like you could actually IT. You could tell. You could somewhat say that IT kind of generates revenue, like tertiary.
Mostly doesn't.
But it's usually referred to as a OpEx. Basically, when you're distinguishing the health of a company, like the more OpEx it has, the less healthy it is, because it's just like you're spending a lot of money just to stay in business, right? CapEx is capital expenditure. It's the money that I spend to make money. I spend $1 to bring in $5. That's a great business. That's a 5x return.
Yeah.
Sounds great, right? So what I'm saying is, like, once you start getting to the point where you're like 5, 6, 7, 10, 20 employees, you start getting a pie chart of CapEx, OpEx, because now you're going to have like an HR person that has to deal with onboarding, and that's not going to bring you any money. Their job is exclusively to cost you money, but they'll prevent you from lawsuits and things like that. It helps the business, but it doesn't bring dollars through the door. So the reason I'm bringing this up is, there's multiple definitions of success in a business, and it could be you get 20 employees and someone comes in and says, hey, I like what you're doing. I want your client list. I want your product. I want your whatever it is that you got. Maybe you got something that you're doing better than us, and we're going to adapt it into our product. I'm going to buy you out today. I consider that a success. I don't consider that a sellout. I don't consider that like, oh, you failed, or you didn't believe in the dream. You did everything you had to do. Do you know how many people on this planet will never produce anything that they'll sell for $1? For $1. They will go through their whole life always cashing a check and never writing one. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm not trying to belittle anyone for that. Different strokes for different folks. But I think like when people start like scoffing at, like when I said $4 million I'd sell, that is a lot of fucking money.
It is.
That's a lot of fucking money. I can do a lot with $4 million. You know what I mean? So when I say I'll sell for $4 million, I don't even think for a second I'm a failure or anything. So, you know what I think I am? A millionaire.
Yeah.
That's what.
There's a lot of cool things you can do with $4 million.
And I think I produced something. I created something that had a valuation of $4 million. Now, how many people can say that?
Right. Exactly.
Entrepreneurship is weird.
That'd be incredible. I thought about that before. So I've thought what I would sell my number. Let's say $10 million. Let's say in 3 years, somebody comes to me and says, Gabe, I'll give you $10 million for SteinBros. And I say yes. Well, that means...
That's not how that would work, though, because you have a 50-50 equity stake. So what they would tell you is,
we'd talk with Matt.
No. It's irrespective of Matt. They can buy you out of your equity.
Yep.
Depending on the articles of origination, depending on your operating agreement. That's not how that works. If it's like 100% you own it, then yes, they buy you out. Yeah. But if you have equity shares,
I'm
they're not buying the company, they're buying you.
I'm just saying a number strictly for the question. We're getting
for your 50%.
We're getting too many fine details.
A $10 million valuation would mean $5 million for you.
Doesn't matter. Any number. We could say $100 million or $1 million. If someone comes to me and says, Gabe, I'll give you $10 million for whatever it is, whether it's 100% of the company or 50% of the company, they're going to give me $10 million. Let's say that happens in 3 years from now. I was working at a factory for a while. The amount of time that it would have taken me to get to $10 million working at that factory, I'd have never got there. Oh. Maybe I would have got there eventually. I don't know. If I did $100,000 a year, which I wasn't making, it would take 100 years to get to $10 million. So, right? That's the math, right?
Not after taxes. That's the other rough.
So I'm just saying.
Even more.
That would be a huge win, right? If in 3 years from now I'm like, dude, that'd be the biggest one. There's no sellout that's like, this smart motherfucker found a way to make a lifetime's worth of money in a few years.
Well, that'd
be like the ultimate win?
Isn't that like a contradiction of morality, though? Because on one frame, like on one hand, we're saying that this is my baby. I will pour my heart, my sweat.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's not a child. You're not going to sell your there's not a number for your actual child.
Agreed.
The hot sauce company and a baby are not the same thing.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. But here's the other thing I'm going to say is the way you view that might not be the way that everybody else views that. I do know some people.
I mean, I love my company, and that's why I try so hard. That's why I refuse to outsource and have other people do it, because it was not what I would do, right?
Well, let me expand this. I do know some entrepreneurs that don't have family. They don't have kids. They don't have a wife. Their business is what they chose.
Yeah.
So in essence, that their business is their purpose. Their business is their identity. Their business is everything.
Yeah.
Without their business, what are they? Now they could be a millionaire. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is, it's a contradiction, because like you.
That's an ego thing. I'd say it's somebody who doesn't have enough going on in their life.
I don't think it's ego.
Just go find something else.
No, I think it's value. Like, what do you value? Some people don't value businesses.
Yeah.
And then they scoff at white collar work. It's fine. They're not wrong. They're probably right in some respect. I don't think it's ego. I think it's perspective. What I'm trying to say, though, is entrepreneurship is this contradicting perspective where we on one hand are saying that we believe in this and we're willing to put in time and effort and all these other things. Think about how much effort you put into this, right? And how you're so passionate about this and proud of this.
Yeah.
But on that same coin, the flip side, if someone comes in with a number, take it all away.
Yeah, I'll go make another baby. Or I'll go buy 1,000 fucking acres and hunt every fucking day and be the happiest
just live
guy.
off venison.
Oh my God, yeah, you don't even know. I'll freaking hunt all the time.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything, as long as you
Get my farm, I'll be good.
I say this all the time. As long as you're not like infringing on the rights and liberties of another man, I don't think there's a perfect way to live. I think there's whatever works for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also do think that there's a correlation between you cannot be success driven and complacent.
No, not at all.
I'm sure you love hunting. I say this all the time. Even a porn star says they go to work in the morning, right? So like, great job, but give it over the course of time. It'll
No,
get a
yeah,
little
hunting is
monotonous.
not all fun.
So okay,
It's a lot of misery.
But that's what I'm trying to say is like, what entrepreneurship gives me more than anything is the spice of life.
Yeah.
And we'll get to this part of the conversation because I do want to bring this up. Is like, it's also not a zero-sum game. It's not binary. You're not either an entrepreneur or an employee. It's entirely possible to do both. In fact, I would make the argument that if you have positive cash flow from a job that you're working, it makes it easier to become an entrepreneur. I think the hardest way to become an entrepreneur is to dive headfirst into it. It's kind of like fighting. Like, how many fighters do you know, like, they don't have a day job?
Yeah.
Like, they only fight.
Very few.
And then how successful are they? I only know one.
Yeah.
Two now. Sean Woodson and Evan Elder. These are the only two guys that like don't have day jobs. They never worked. They're like, they just fucking committed to this and they made it. These are the only two that I know. And no, because Joaquin Buckley had a day job before so like only those two, you know what I mean? So like, that's kind of how I look at entrepreneurs. A lot of the entrepreneurs that I know, they had a job or they still have a job that they're working at, making money from a salary, and then doing their business on the side. The side hustle becomes the main hustle type mentality.
Yeah.
And that can be something small or that can be something large. In fact, I'll tell you this. I know some guys that have their own thing and they work for like one another. So like, one guy has a business where he hired another person to work on that business, and then that guy has a business where he hired the guy that hired him to run on his business. True story.
Sounds familiar.
True story.
Yeah, that's like what we have going on.
Okay. Yeah. So like, it sounds crazy, but like,
Yeah, my
I
day
know-
job is working for him.
So talk about
I guess
that.
my night job is working for
So like, you
Yeah.
invested in his company and then also hired him to work for your company.
Yep.
Which is, I hope you guys don't ever have a disagreement.
We see through him pretty
you
good.
guys are in bed now.
Ugh.
So how did that conversation come through? Like, how did we even get to this point where he works for you and you work for each other? And that's an interesting relationship.
It is. But so I originally kind of hired Gabe because I was getting to a point with my company where I realized in order for me to kind of lead it and run it the way I needed to, I needed to be a little less hands-on with some of the daily minutia. Mm-hmm. For me, like, if I'm just doing the same thing over and over and over again, I'm going to lose concentration and not get stuff done on time. So I was like, well, I could, instead of me spending my high-value time doing lower-value tasks, I'll hire Gabe as an assistant. So most of that was editing in terms of video content and some web content for some of my clients. So Gabe takes care of some of that for me, and then for the hot sauce, we own it together, and I help him cook it sometimes. So
What was that conversation like to get a job with him? I want to be careful how I ask this question, but like, what was the need that arose, or why? Is it just because you have free time? Like, how did we get to
I
this
was
point?
building helicopters, and my program had gotten shut down, and we got bought out by Boeing, and I had an option to either kind of go with them or do my own thing or whatnot, or at least thought I had an option, I should say. But and it was right when I was turning pro in MMA, so I was really getting my ass kicked training at night and getting up at 4:30 in the morning and working all day.
Helicopters, yeah.
It was kicking my ass, and I love that job. But it was just too hard, and I was like, I literally felt like I was going insane because I wasn't getting any sleep. So Matt, he had started his company recently around the same time that I had gotten bought out, and I chose to take a severance. I said, if you don't want to come over with us, you can take a severance and go do your own thing. So I said, I'm going to take the severance. And Matt was like, well, I need help with my company. And he's like, pretty much work your own hours as long as the task that I need you to do is done by the time it needs to be done. He's like, you don't have to wake up to an alarm. Matt's the man. Matt is a good dude.
That's the way to do it.
thank you.
But so that's kind of how it all started. He needed help,
Matt
and I
hires
needed
people that he can trust, because you know how
Yeah.
hard it is to tell someone, work whenever you want. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to micromanage you, but get shit done.
Yeah.
You have to really trust that motherfucker.
Yeah.
You have to really trust that motherfucker.
And that was a large part of the value for me.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I can give him the tasks, and
85% of the people that you hire, you're going to have to manage.
Yeah.
If you have 15%.
I have to manage him as my boss. I'm
Yeah.
like, Matt, you need to wake up earlier. We
Whoa,
need to
be careful
here
now, boys.
at this time.
It's a Venn diagram. You can fire each other right now.
No,
That'd be great,
literally.
Hey,
Literally.
which one of us would win in that
We're
case?
both unemployed at the end of the podcast by each other.
Ugh.
Like, fuck, do you want to call it quits and just rehire each other?
Fire you.
But yeah, it's a
can't fire me, I
dynamic we
quit.
got.
Forgive me for asking this, but this is a paradigm, or this is a variable that I think is present as well. What is your relationship status? Like, do you have a wife? Do you have kids?
You have a wife of 8 years, but no kids.
No kids? And then you are currently single, correct?
I'm single, yeah. I got
Okay.
dogs and my brother.
He said no. He's in the studio and he's just like eyeballing me right now.
He's just staring.
No girls. The reason I bring that up is obviously whenever you're doing some sort of risky endeavor, whether it's fighting in a cage or starting a business, when you're single, it's a little bit easier because you're the king of the castle and the
Yeah.
only occupant is you. The second you bring anybody else into that, now it's almost like a consensus, or at the very least, you can be selfish, but you cannot be too selfish. It's a fine line that you have to walk. So you being married for 8 years, obviously you're taking on that initial risk when you started your own IT consultancy company, and then you take on the risk of investing in Gabe's project and his baby. What was that conversation like with the spouse? Like, or do you even have that conversation? Or does she trust you enough that it's just basically like, babe, how was work today? Ah, it was cool.
My wife Heather and I have a kind of funny relationship when it comes to money sometimes. She is very stressed out by money all the time. So her way of coping is not looking at the money, which works great for me. No, halfway kidding. But Heather is probably one of the most frugal people I've ever met. Her hobbies include crocheting, watching TV shows on her iPad, and having a nice quiet night in. And I'm like, where did I find you? So
It's got to fit you though too, because you guys got married. So I'm sure
Yeah.
you're kind of a low key guy yourself.
yeah, I like being low key. I like spending quality time with people. So for her, she works as well. She has a regular job and she loves it there, and they love her. So she does provide a little bit of stability that helps me take on the risk that I've taken on.
Did you have this company before you guys were married, or was this something that the IT consultancy company, or was this something that you created after you guys got married?
I created it after we got married.
And I'm sure you had like a 9 to 5 before you guys got married.
Yeah. So
What was that conversation like, saying, hey, you know that stability and that paycheck you love me getting? By the way,
well,
spoiler warning.
when I started my company, I had I've actually been doing IT consultant stuff on the side for like 10 or 15 years now. I've had a lot of little side projects all over the place.
So you're telling me that when you were employed, you had a side hustle that turned into the main hustle?
Yep, sure did. And I had an offer from a prospective client. They really wanted to contract a good amount of time from me, and the price was right. So I got started with them. It was about the company I was working for my full-time job was going to fold. They knew that ahead of time. They decided to communicate that very early on. It was mostly just like the industry was changing. So they were like, the owners are retiring. We're going to call it quits.
It's also super cryptic.
We'll call it family business.
Yeah. Fair. Sorry.
No, it's fine. But so I knew my time there was coming to an end because the company was coming to an end. So this other offer for this other company came up and went with that. Except I did that as a contracting gig through my LLC. So some of the production work for that, I wound up hiring Gabe to do. And we've basically, I'm trying to take some of those pipelines that we developed for like editing processes and some other stuff and trying to figure out how to resell that to other clients to basically expand the load.
What's the name of your company and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, that'd be a great idea if I said that. So my company is called Go Therefore. You can go to gotherefore.llc.com and you can check out some of what we do. I don't have too much on the website. I'm kind of reworking it now, so maybe by the time this is done, I'll finally get around to finishing that.
I'll post this tomorrow.
Yeah, well, in that case, it probably won't be done.
How many days a day?
he can get it done quick.
Yeah.
I'm not rushing you.
My problem is the due date is the due date. So
I'll put in the link, and then whenever it's done,
Yeah, I'll spend tomorrow getting it all edited up and cleaned up.
I do have to say this is enjoyable for me because the older that I get, the more that I realize that I do enjoy the company of people that have an idea and just execute.
Yep.
Like, you call it balls or heart, whatever you want to call it. By the way, it's not binary to a gender of that has balls. It could be a woman, it could be whatever. You know what I mean? I know a lot of fantastic entrepreneurial females that are cut from the same cloth. You know what I mean? And I just happen to enjoy the presence of like-minded individuals where it seems like, I don't know if you want to call it like the risk aversion is low, but they just they'll see hurdles and they'll be like, okay, well, that's not really a hurdle. Like, what you're missing is these two variables and you can overcome that, right? Versus the individual that looks at that and says like,
just
oh
panics.
my God, look at that mountain that I can't climb. And it's just like, okay, guess that's a problem for somebody else. I want to be careful how I say this, but for me as an individual, I do enjoy the company of individuals that look for solutions and don't necessarily, I don't want to say give up, but don't necessarily concede.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I mean, for me, just by personality type, I guess I'm low anxiety but high vigilance or whatever. So for me, like seeing a problem, like I enjoy finding solutions. I enjoy, I mean, that's the big kind of reason I went into basically consulting for my business is, and that's actually one of the things I struggle with marketing my business specifically is people are typically looking for specific answers, but I'm good at finding tech answers to pretty broad problems. So, if it's whether trying to figure out how to set up your business so that it can scale in an adaptive manner, that's kind of what I've done with SteinBros. That's something that we figure out. I mean, I install, like one of the things. So I spent probably about 10 years as a system administrator for a defense company. A small one.
Interesting. Essex?
It's in GIS.
Sorry. I was curious because we're in St. Louis.
Yeah. We would do, we would subcontract for NGA stuff.
Gotcha.
And while I worked there, it was a small business, so I had to figure out how to not only do the troubleshooting for
you wear many
employees,
hats.
So many hats. And I've also worked in and out of churches, being their tech directors over the years as well. I actually went to college to be a worship leader. Right?
I didn't even know you had to go to college for that.
You don't have to, but you can.
If you want to pay a lot for it, they'll take the
Listen,
money.
I'll tell you right now, if you guys want a degree that's useless and not worth it, I will sell it to you.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a step above gender studies. But no, I actually really learned.
Before my gender studies degree, I did not know there were two.
Oh my goodness.
And now we just got canceled.
Oh dear. I actually learned a lot from studying worship at Missouri Baptist. We took like a studio production course in that degree, and I learned how to operate whole setups just like this one. And that actually came absolutely in clutch when the pandemic hit. Like the church I was serving at was completely caught off guard. We didn't have any stream. I think we had an analog soundboard at that point, and they were like, we have to go from like 0 to 100 on tech like immediately. Our pastor was the first person in Madison County, Illinois to get COVID. So like, things got real tricky.
What a weird accolade.
Yeah. We have a YouTube.
I was the first.
We have a YouTube video with like 50,000 views because he was
I got the coof.
Yeah. He put out kind of his experience on it, and that a lot of people found that useful.
How much, forgive me for asking this, but how much do you think COVID has changed everything? Everything.
It's changed a lot. I think things on the surface have gone mostly back to how they were before.
I don't think so at all.
No.
Oh.
People are way more conspiracy
not-
theory now.
Well, not even. I'm not even talking about like the individual level. I'm talking about like institutions. I'm talking about economics. I'm talking about commerce. I'm talking about like just the basic cost of shit. Like, I'm telling you, we will look back at our reaction to COVID, what we decided to do. We think the economic impact is what, $4 trillion? That is, there's no way that's the case.
You can't send everyone home for 2 years and expect nothing to happen.
So what I'm saying is, or my question is more like, I truly believe that we did irreversible damage.
Oh, yeah.
That we will have to live with for the next 70 years until every generation or every living person that, I don't want to say the word suffered, but lived through COVID, those 2 years.
No, it is a chapter in our
history
in
that
our history.
I hope to God we never forget.
Yeah, no, it won't be. It'll be forever.
I think
documented.
a lot of people in our generation want to forget it. I mean, even now, if I bring up COVID and like the cough and like the shot, like ding, like YouTube just brought up a little notification at the bottom.
But it's not even that. It's like, dude, for me, like if you ask me like, okay, so I was born in 92, I could kind of distinguish years after like 97. So like 98, 99, 2000. I remember 2000, Y2K. You know what I mean? Like I remember 08 for sure. You know what I mean? I definitely remember 2012 when Obama got elected. I definitely remember 2016 when Trump like upended politics as we know it. But like, dude, 2020 to like 2025, you ever see those possum memes where it's like you're 20 and then you're 30? That's how I feel the last 5 years have been. Like I've been here, I've done a lot, but like if you ask me to distinguish, like most people don't know that COVID started in 2020. Like March of 2020 is when we started the lockdowns. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, if you recall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like
our hero Fauci.
6 years later, 2 months from now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just fascinating to me, our reaction, the repercussions of, and how long-term they're going to be. By the way, I will also add this caveat before I start sounding super doom and gloom. There are other countries in the world that are going to suffer far greater than us.
Oh, yeah.
China being number one.
Yep.
So the only reason I bring that up is when we're discussing this, we're doing a lot of timeline analysis. And 8 years ago, I started this. Well, 8 years ago was like 2 years before the pandemic. And the pandemic changed everything. Changed my life, changed your lives, I'm sure, changed everybody's lives. Some for the better, some for the worse. But it is just... I need to kind of bring that up as like a reminder to people because like we're saying like 6 years ago I did this, 5 years ago I did, well, context, when was 5 years ago? When was 8 years ago? When was this? You have to also take into consideration the time in which some of these decisions were being made, the context of the weight of that decision. And I genuinely hope, and we'll get off this topic very quickly because I'm not trying to, hype on this too much, but, there was a lot of economic recovery money printed and given out in mass in a relatively short amount of time.
Isn't like 85% of all dollars ever minted were minted in the last 8 years?
I believe you're talking about the $9 trillion in the span of I think it was from 2019 to 2018 to 2023 or 2024.
Yeah.
That 7 year span.
Like the
it was
M1
like something
supply
of
just like exploded.
I think it was like 75% of the money supply.
Yeah.
In terms of what's printed, and okay, let me go into a step further, because the bond market for our treasury notes, people can buy that, and that's different from printing money.
Yes.
The problem is, who is the main buyer of our bonds? It's not a country. It's the Federal Reserve. If you look at their balance sheet, they own the most amount of our treasury notes. I think China's number 2 with like 900 billion. Okay?
Yeah.
So like even our number 2 doesn't even have 1 trillion. I think the Federal Reserve, fact check me live real quick, Adam. I think the Federal Reserve has anywhere between $7 and $9 trillion of our treasury notes on its balance sheets. I could be wrong, but this is like, I drank a little bit, so give me a little bit of context. But I think number 2 then is China with like roughly 800 and 900 billion. So like think about that delta. What that means is we went to the market for our dollars and said, who wants to buy these notes? No one said anything, so we printed dollars to sell them to ourselves essentially.
Yeah.
Can you?
7 trillion.
7 trillion. That was cool.
7.1.
Okay, so I said 7 to 9. So hey, napkin
21%
math.
of the total public.
21% of our total debt is owned by who? Not even a country. We printed the money. Now, there's multiple ways to get inflation. There's like the manufacturing capabilities of it. There's shutting down, economics and commerce as we know it. You're obviously going to have a sustained demand, but you're going to have a reduction in supply. There you go, inflation. But then when you couple that with, we printed $6 trillion in 6 years. You know what I mean? You're going on $1 trillion of print. When I say printed, I don't mean like we made money, like we sold bonds to do this. No, we sold our bonds to ourselves. There was no market for this. No one was buying this. And that's why you're getting 10% year-over-year inflation with Biden. You know what I mean? It's kind of, it doesn't take an economist to understand that this is like unsustainable. And yeah, I mean the long-term effects of that, especially when you have a budget that is not.
Would you say it's inevitable that we'll face the inflationary consequences of that?
No, because you're seeing the repercussions of it now. At the end of the day, monetary policy, the dollar is a fiat currency. And the reason why you're allowed to even run a $40 trillion deficit is because you run the world, or at least this hemisphere. And then when people tell me about China and Russia, I always respond to them, like, listen, say what you want about America, about our system, about demographics, about whatever. We sustain ourselves because of our Bill of Rights, because of our Constitution, because of our amendments. Yeah, is it ugly sometimes that we have some bad leaders, some good leaders, some corruption, all this other stuff? Yeah, but name me one other country that doesn't have corruption, bad leaders, and all these other things. But you want to know what we have that they don't have? The freest, firearms, Second Amendment, for sure. But also the freest and fairest elections that exist. I wouldn't say they're free and fair exclusively, but the freest and fairest. I always say, talk about America, complain about it all you want. It's a country mile before number 2.
Yeah, we can talk about our own president and own guns.
Yeah. I mean, look
pretty
at Iran.
nice.
Look at Iran right now. Look at Iran right now. When people talk about fascism, when people talk about all this other stuff, and by the way, I'm not even talking about the current administration. Like separate yourself for a moment about politics. I'm not saying red or blue. I'm not saying who's in office and all of these things. I'm talking about objective reality for your lifestyle. The fact, why is America the number 1 country in the world? I could point down to 2 reasons: entrepreneurship and the protection of assets. Those 2 reasons. The government will not seize my shit
without paying you.
Without paying me. Eminent domain does exist, but at least they'll pay me fair market value. So outside of eminent domain, they will not seize my shit, okay? And I have the freedom to try. In other countries in the world, you don't have these things. You don't have these things.
So I have a situation that came up today that I think I would like to get your take on.
Sure.
So I work part-time for my church. I'm their technical director. We're Bethel Church in Troy,
Literally,
Illinois.
God bless.
Yeah. Love it there. I've been attending there for, I can't even remember, probably 7 or 8 years. It's I can't remember if I started going there before or after I got married, but my wife knows, and that's what's important. But I've been serving there, and we learned today, or at least I learned today, that they are planning to open up. So I learned today that they are planning to install a data center surrounding 3/4 of our church campus. We're currently in the middle of a cornfield near a freeway, and I guess the city of Troy is like, oh yeah, we're okay with them putting a data center that surrounds 3/4 of our church, its academy for
You're
students.
basically going to implode the church.
Yeah, so it's like this
They'll
is
have
either
to relocate.
we would either have to, well, and like I can show you the cutout later. It's like hilarious. It's like what
They're
I'm
surrounding
surprised
you
they
on
didn't.
purpose.
Yeah,
They
trying
know
to-
what
They're
they're
trying
doing.
to snuff you out.
Well,
we even know who owns the
Yeah, but
land
let me
that's
ask the
selling
question,
it, and it's
so?
like
relocate. Will they pay you out? Will they pay you a premium for that land? Relocate.
I
Because if you
don't-
hold long enough, they will.
Yeah.
yeah, we've
And then build your church again down the street. Or just,
I'm
renovate an
thinking-
existing building or whatever you have to do.
I'm thinking more along the lines of it. The project needs to get shut down.
Why?
Won't
Won't the data center bring in a much needed amount of commerce and economic growth to an area? No offense to Troy.
Yeah,
It could probably use a data center.
it could use some economic development, but I don't think a data center is the right path forward. And
Says you.
specifically,
Perspective.
sure. So the reason I
That's a
don't
lot
think
of construction. That's a lot of concrete. That's a lot of electrical. That's a lot of plumbing. That's a lot of maintenance. Then there's a lot of like the technical jobs that'll be afforded afterwards. We often
but a
say in
data center
America-
doesn't give you as many jobs as a lot of other types of industrial development would. Like a
Yeah, but dude, we're not we're not going back. So like when people
No.
when people say that, like I agree, like you're absolutely correct. Does a Ford plant employ more people than a data center? Yeah, but like you're not going to build a Ford plant either. So what is the argument here?
Well, I think some of the argument is if you're going to erect a bunch of buildings that emit like 60 to 70 decibels of sound continuously 24/7 365
Then pay the people a premium to move out.
next to a house of worship that constantly impedes its worship, I think that's highly problematic.
Agreed. But then it's like it's a logical question of like how much more difficult is it to relocate a data center versus a church? And I hate to bring it like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like realistically speaking, it's the same thing that we
To
have.
my knowledge, there's been no offer or indication of anything
Yet.
to our church.
Yet.
And
Now, if
it's
they're
possible.
coming in there as like a hostile thing, absolutely agree that you need to shut that down.
It feels hostile.
The way they should have gone about it is to buy out that land.
Yeah.
That's how they should have gone about it. But like I guess what I'm trying to say is like there's a similar issue but in a completely different industry, and that's actually like nuclear energy, right? Because right now, even with all these data centers,
Yeah.
so long as you
Communities
have
play hot potato with it.
exactly, as long as you
I
have
don't want this to be my problem.
yeah,
But
as
we
long
need the
as-
data centers. We
as
need
long
the
as-
nuclear power.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I would make the argument that like in order to solve the issue of a growing technological footprint for humanity, you will inevitably have to answer the question of electrons and how we will need more of them and how China is kicking our ass, but they're doing it in a way that's like unsustainable. You can't just burn oil and coal and natural gas to infinity, right? So like what I'm saying is the same logic that you have in terms of a data center encroaching on your church, I would also say that has existed, and the reason why our nuclear program here in this country, not for weapons grade uranium, but for electrons, for electricity, has basically been stagnant for the last 40 years. And that's because no one wants a nuclear facility behind their in their backyard.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is, it's the same thing I say to like, oh, by the way, that door is locked, so he's locked out, Adam. If you don't mind opening it, thank you. What I'm saying is, we need to, as a people, as a society, understand that you cannot have your cake and eat it too. You
Yep.
can't.
Yeah,
So,
the
like,
data
if you
center
have an
has
issue-
to exist somewhere.
But let's think about it like more broad. Forgive me, like for being this obtuse about it. And I want to emphasize that this is like close to you. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
your house of worship. So like, forgive me if I'm sounding like with no empathy or with no sympathy. But like I sometimes I look at these things as like purely logical. What is more net good, this data center or a church? Depending on who you ask, you'll get different responses.
Economically, the data center.
Well, economically, yeah, but faithful wise, like, the people of that church will tell you, no, this church is more important. So like, I'm not gonna attack it from that angle. I'm not going to say which one's more important. What I'm going to say is which one has a bigger footprint for humanity. And it's not like a utilitarian approach for like what will produce the most amount of good for the most amount of people. It's a logical approach. Over the course of time, logic will win. And I hate to say it that way. And what makes more logical sense is it easier to relocate a data center or a nuclear facility, or is it easier to move people out of their homes or out of their house of worship? Maybe, guys, I hate to say it this way, but for us to compete, for us to like acquire a new quality of living, we don't get to live exactly where we want. And maybe we do have to relocate. Now, going back to that eminent domain and all these other things, I don't think that should come in a hostile way. Fuck you, leave. I don't think it should be like that. If you come in, you have to pay the premium to relocate. I do think that is like the least you can do. Does that make sense?
One of the things I specifically am not liking about how data centers are basically being, how communities are being approached for the builds of data centers is that it seems most of the deals are in and of themselves just bad. Like, I use data centers literally every hour of my life.
Yeah.
I use them incessantly. I run AI models. I make API calls to AI models. Like, I do all that stuff. It's like, I am not free of sin. But the problem is...
Nico, you can sit down.
What was up?
Go ahead, walk through. You're fine.
Yeah.
He's offended you on the
go.
ground.
We're paused.
You're fine. I'm not gonna let you sit on the ground. There's chairs over there, but it's all good. You're fine. Continue.
The problem is these don't seem to be good deals for the communities. And specifically by that, I mean, like, they take an enormous amount of utilities, and it seems that whatever tax advantages they're getting are coming from the community itself.
The problem is we are producing the output without necessarily ever investing in the input. You're absolutely correct, but that's not a reflection of like the proximity of these data centers to these, whether it's an institution of faith,
yeah,
higher education, or just residential or commercial property. What it is we're realizing that what we've always known is that the private sector works better than the public sector. The companies that will make the most use out of AI, the most use out of these data centers, and by the way, it doesn't have to be AI related. It could be AWS. It could be like whatever.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though is the only reason that we're looking at this as a construct that is damaging to people is because we didn't do the due diligence and we didn't have the foresight to expand the utilities that would be needed for this. So when Google sits there and is lobbying Congress right now for expedited nuclear facility approval, because Google is now going to be in the business of creating nuclear reactors to essentially fuel their data centers. What we're essentially saying, like, I hate to say it this way, but bureaucracy has proven itself ineffective at being quick, which is fine. But like at some point, what you do is you do the change today, you legislate tomorrow. And what does that mean? That means some people are going to have to suffer. And by the way, when I say suffer, because a lot of people are going to get upset really quickly. So let me take this backtrack and let me explain. Do I think that St. Charles, Missouri should have to move everybody out to make a data center? No. There are moves that make sense. Sorry, but if you're north of Troy with a population of like 7,000 people, pay them 1.5x par value, and move. Because I don't think that we should do that in St. Charles or St. Louis or whatever. At what point do we say progress has to be halted because we don't want to inconvenience people? We've never done that in U.S. history. Yeah. In fact, in current history, happening right now, I would say that if it makes sense to do for America, we'll fucking do it.
I mean, ultimately, I recognize that, like, Project Stargate, which is like the $500 billion given to some of these tech companies to produce these data centers.
Not given. How is it
Is it loaned?
No, it's a combination of loan and tax incentives. The reason I bring that up is it's different. It's a different thing saying I signed a check for $500 billion, gave it over to you, and it's a different thing saying, hey, if you take on the risk, if you do all the infrastructure, if you do all the logistical prowess to execute on this, we won't necessarily ream you on the back end when it comes time to pay us our share. Yeah. Which by the way, I don't think the government should ever be in the business of giving money out. I think they should be exclusively in the business of taking less money if you do something right.
Yeah.
I don't want you because we've seen with the fraud from many states, from many cities, that when you give money to people, especially, I'm going to say it right now, the people that are in public service are the rejects of private sector. They couldn't make it in corporate America. They couldn't make it as entrepreneurs, so they want to serve the people. There's nothing wrong with that, but call a spade a spade. The reason why you're a politician is because you couldn't be an entrepreneur. And the best politicians are the ones that were entrepreneurs, or were in the corporate field, or were in blue-collar work, or were ex-military. The people that have done shit tend to be better at leading shit. Go figure. But the problem is the majority of the people that go into politics, the majority of your elected officials, are fucking stupid. They're lazy. They're not smart. They're not your best and brightest. So what I'm saying is we are to relegate ourselves to the lowest amongst us on what the best should do. The truth of the matter is government should always be what they were always intended to be, the referee, not the sixth man on the court or the 12th man on the field. Know your fucking place. So when we're talking about data centers, or we're talking about nuclear reactors, whatever it is that we're talking about, the way that we should always look at it in the frame and the lens is, how can government allow for the entrepreneurial spirit and for capital in the private sector to create the abundance that we appreciate as Americans? Look throughout history, and there'll be like, you know, your blue-haired white women that are like, well, you know, without government funding, you wouldn't get the internet. No, dummy, you would have gotten the internet. You think that without government, these things would not have been invented? The problem is government superseded the risk-taking of individuals. The difference, the way you should say that quote is, if government didn't invest in it, it wouldn't have gotten invented then, but some guy, somewhere, somehow would have done it, and then he would have privatized the internet. Now, there's a conversation to be had about utilities and the private sector commerce. I'm here for that conversation, but that's a nuanced conversation. The majority of people think that, like, government good or government bad.
So if the government is investing...
It's both.
$500
It's
billion,
both good and bad.
Yeah. If the government is investing $500 billion toward the advancement of data centers, then maybe we should have a discussion about the usage of data centers being more like a utility.
It's a slippery slope.
Because, I mean, currently, virtually all the usage of data centers is privatized.
Yes. Well, I would make the argument that no, it's not, because a lot of these things are also offered to you at free cost. You can use ChatGPT for free. Granted, you can make the argument that, like, well, I need to have a phone plan. So, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's like turning on the tap water. But the privatization of these things, I mean, I personally think that B2B will become the inevitable commerce of our time, especially as technological advancements happen. Because what will happen is people will, man, I need to take a step back.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna take a pee real quick.
Yeah. Strategic bathroom break is strategic. Give me some time to coalesce my thoughts before I make a statement that's going to piss everybody off. The end goal of, you know, productive capabilities and efficiencies will inevitably, whether it's in our lifetime or not, result in the absolute demolition of all human labor whatsoever. So then who will have the capital to spend, and how will commerce work? It will work between entities and entities, or nations and nations. Now, whether or not that's like a good or a bad thing, or the philosophical nature of like independence, I'm not here for that conversation, because I think both have merit. I think that so long as you have a human species that inevitably grows and becomes more efficient, you're only going to eliminate more and more of poverty, more and more of sickness, more and more of all these ailments that create a negative outcome in this world. However, you're going to centralize more and more power, and that's the big rub, right? Is like, how do we keep our independence? How do we maintain our sovereignty as individuals, while also saying that, like, the you know, big brother knows best? The truth of the matter is, that's why I believe in America. That's it right there, more than anything, is because there was a piece of paper that was written on 250 years ago that said, fuck you. And we still listen to that today. And so long as we do that, we have a shot. And I'll say this, I don't care what anyone else says. America's the last, like, America's it.
Yeah.
There is no other nation. There is no other, like, second best. It's here. And we need to realize that.
We are unconquerable unless from within. You can't beat us by coming over the ocean. You can't beat us by coming over the air.
I wouldn't consider that conquering. I would consider that implosion. You're not going to conquer us. You're going to kill us. Yeah. That's a different thing. It's different. Taking my shit and killing me is just two different things. Does that make sense? And that's why I believe that if anybody can do this, it'll be us. because we have the perfect amount of ingenuity, entrepreneurial spirit, sovereignty, but also social welfare. Call it what it is. Listen, I like Social Security. I don't like how it's run. But I like the idea of Social Security. I don't want people to, if you want to work till the day you die, I think you should have that right. But if you don't want to work till the day you die, you should also have that right. But then you have to facilitate how you execute that. Is there anybody that you would listen to that says like, hey, every year I take $1,000 and I put it in a shoebox, and then when I'm 66, I'm gonna take all those thousands of dollars, I'm gonna live off of it? What would you think of them? You'd think they were stupid. That's what we do with Social Security. It's insane.
Yeah, I've strongly entertained.
Cheers, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Go from hot sauce to macroeconomics to the plights of the world.
Yeah.
We'll get back on hot sauce. We got flavors to try.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, Gabe knows philosophy. He'll pipe in with some pretty good hot takes. But oh man, now I lost the point I had in my head.
We were talking about essentially the breakdown of like what could be like labor, the breakdown of the fabric of our society if we do allow for technological advances. The original conversation was going to the part of these these data centers and the cost benefit analysis for these communities. What I'm saying is we would not be having this conversation if we took our electrical grid a little bit more seriously, if we had allowed for nuclear to proliferate a little bit, not like, unlimited, but a little less baited. It's when you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, you're out of steak, you don't blame the cattle farmer. You blame the restaurant for not buying the steak. That's how I look at this. It's like, oh, well, if we do a data center, our electric prices will go up. Well, why don't we have like more readily available sources of energy? Why are we still on coal or natural gas or all these other things?
Well, first of all, I live in Illinois, so we shut down all of our coal plants because we're so smart.
Yeah. But we shut down our coal plants, and then what do? We outsource it. We buy coal from overseas. It's cheaper. It's not even that, like, that's the thing I was saying earlier about, like, well, aren't there like better ways to like create jobs? I'm like, yeah, if we weren't like so hell bent on essentially automating the middle class. The truth of the matter is we don't want to do this work anymore. Call a spade a spade. I don't want to put part 8 with part B. Sorry. I don't want to do it. Do you want to do it?
No.
Do you want to do it?
No.
Okay, and then even if I did want to do it, how much would you have to pay me to do it? It wouldn't make any sense.
Yep.
So like call a spade a spade. I don't blame globalization or the greed of man for doing it. It's good business. I would have done it if I was in their position. I don't you know what I mean? Call a spade a spade.
I don't think putting the data center there is a bad business decision.
I think it's a great one.
Bad business decision. I think it's where it's located is near a whole bunch of really important fiber lines. There are decent utilities there. Like, it makes sense on paper.
Yeah.
However,
and the land is cheaper. They chose Troy for a reason.
And it's currently just a bunch of horseradish.
And they're not gonna let a small church get in their way.
No, they won't.
Now, what should they do? Should they come in there and say, "Fuck you, get out of here"? No, like I said earlier, they should come to your church and say, "Hey, listen,
it appears they're just trying to push
this sucks. Can you make this 1,000 feet or 1,000 yards down the street where the noise won't necessarily affect you as much?" And I mean, you're still gonna have to. I'm willing to have a conversation about like compensation in order to offset the energy costs. So like if you added a tax to these energy companies specifically to subsidize, the residential area for the increase in what their electricity is about to happen, I'm willing to have that conversation. And I do believe that is a part of this, because we do acknowledge that this industry is going to boom. But and when it does, the profits will be immense.
So like the pieces on the chessboard in my head seem to be the following. China is ahead of us on total compute.
No, they're not.
Compute. If they aren't, they have the propensity to be.
No, they don't. I just disagree with the premise entirely.
Okay.
Because they need our chips. And the only thing that China has above us is their investment in electrons. That's it. So they'll have the potential for all of these things, but the problem is the infrastructural like misuse of everything else. Communism doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
China has so many other issues that are all going to culminate in the next 5 to 10 years that AI, computer chips, and all these things will be the least of their worries. Yep. There was never, ever in the existence of man, ever a policy as detrimental as the one-child policy. And they're going to realize that in real time. And the problem with communism is that everybody's for communism so long as your needs are met. But when you have an upside down triangle of your population density where you have the greater majority of your population as retirees and you don't have enough people paying in to take care of all the older people. And by the way, we have some of a similar issue here because we have the argument of like, why are we paying taxes to a generation of asset holders that are much wealthier than us? And why, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that America doesn't also have some of these issues, but what I am saying is China has them a lot worse. And you want to know what we have? We have the world by the balls. I'll say it right now, commerce and militarily.
Yeah.
And it's not about infantry. It's not about AI. It's about Navy. You want to control the world? Have ships that can carry a lot of explosive shit like F-15s, whatever. Sorry, I'm not the most military savvy guy, but I do know one thing for certain, that since antiquity, he who has the Navy has the world, because you can control what? Commerce. When you control commerce, you control economics. When you control economics, you control war, because war is economics.
Yeah.
Louisiana Purchase was the most deciding
factor in America's growth. Agreed.
Oh yeah.
And France was a fool to sell it for what they did.
I think they sold it specifically to spite the Brits. It was something like that.
Well, they could have sold it for a premium.
They could have,
a discount,
but they didn't.
Anyway, to go back to what we were saying about like the current conversation, I just see so much bickering, like it's almost as if like we just want to argue for the sake of arguing, but it's like, what are we really arguing about? Truly, this is gonna happen.
The reason I specifically brought it up was because before I brought it up, you were talking about how here in America we have rights.
Yes.
We have the First Amendment, Second Amendment, the whole Bill of Rights. We have rights enumerated beyond that.
Correct.
However, the ethics kind of question comes into my head of, at what point is it rightful or okay for a company to come in and build something that is an actual nuisance to the locals?
Do you want my honest answer?
Yeah.
Did they do it legally?
It seems so. I mean, it isn't complete. That's for sure. It was basically just announced.
I mean, you can sit there and fight it, and there have been stories about like these municipalities and these counties coming together and saying like, no, we don't want this in our area. Fine. I'm not married to any of this, to be completely honest with you. But what I am positive of is this will get done, and this will have economic boom. And here's the other thing too: is like logistically speaking, socioeconomically speaking, like cities can live and die. You can create new cities. Why do we have the cities in America, and where we have them and why we have them? If you go to each individual city, you can realize some sort of like natural resource or some sort of like logistical connection that like constitutes why people would come together at this area. I'll use St. Louis as an example. The biggest reason was actually Anheuser-Busch and coming together over the Missouri River. Missouri River, not Mississippi River, and building a factory to produce alcohol here because of the readily available supply of water, fresh water, right? And then because like an industry entrepreneurial spirit came here, everything else built around it, because then you needed workers, so then they built homes. Well, then these people want something to do, so then you get the bars, you get the nightlife, you get the education centers, everything else stems from economics. So it's like, if you tell me that you start developing, data centers with all these great high-paying jobs in other areas that don't want to be within proximity of a city, fine. Don't be surprised when new cities sprout up, because when these high-paying jobs come in and people have to relocate to work them, well, what are they going to want? They're going to want schools. They're going to want homes. They're going to want all these other things. And then what's going to happen? You're going to get Detroit. You're going to get Detroit. For those that don't understand what I'm saying, is Detroit was the mecca of like automotive manufacturing here in the U.S., and now it's literally a dead city where you get fentanyl people just like fucking slumped over and like all methed out. That's how that city is like known as of today. But 30 years ago, it was an economic powerhouse for America. So what I'm saying is what I've always said about everything: humanity will move forward. The only real question we're talking about now is how, where, when, why. So maybe your church has its rights and liberties. It does. And I don't think that we should ever be in a position where we forget that in order for the prosperity of a company, let alone just the proximity of the people around it. But what I will also say is they might not do it north of Troy. Maybe they do it more north. And then don't get upset when people start moving from wherever you live
to wherever. This is more in the heart of Troy. This isn't like up north where there's nothing else around.
Maybe it's better for Troy. Maybe it'll make Troy a bigger city because of the jobs around it. Manufacturing's dead. Can we all agree with that?
Manufacturing is dying.
In America.
In America, yeah, Obama killed it.
Well, I would say it was dying. It was
dying.
It was
yes.
NAFTA. It was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. It started with Clinton.
Yeah.
Bush oversaw it. Obama expedited it. Trump didn't do anything to solve it. So yeah, manufacturing in our country is dead, and it's not coming back. You can
The
make
next
the
generation of manufacturing is data.
even if you want to know what manufacturing is coming back to America, putting part A with part B. Like, we're not building the shit, we're just putting it together here to offset tariffs. That's what a lot of people, whenever you see like like this company is going to invest 50 billion trillion million dollars in this, what they're really saying is we're going to put an HQ. This is what Amdocs did in St. Charles, Missouri. Or Chesterfield, Missouri. Amdocs is an Israeli company. It's a telecommunications company. Where did they put their HQ? In Chesterfield, Missouri. For what? All the legal entity reasons, all the tax benefits, and all these other things. And as soon as it suited them, they moved it.
Yeah.
So like they'll do the same thing with these manufacturing facilities. Tell me what the law is. Oh, so if I make any part of this product in your country and offer some jobs, I don't have to do with this tariffs? Cool. We'll make a small manufacturing facility where we put part A with part B, 100 jobs, don't tariff me. It's stupidity. I mean, it's not stupidity because it is something, right? But the overarching theme, the overarching thought is manufacturing will leave America. Now, the question is, like, is that good or bad? It's both, right? Because can everybody be an entrepreneur? Can everybody be an overachiever? Can everybody be the six-figure salary earner? The answer to that question is no.
Well, things are highly globalized. Closer to yes. I mean, if we become, if technology equips the world for further globalization, then we're going to have China that does the manufacturing. We're going to have India that also does some of the manufacturing.
No, it's because it's a race at the bottom. You're not going to get China. They're already moving now to India. And then once here's what happens. The Chinese people 30 years ago started manufacturing all our goods for pennies on the dollars.
Yep.
So we all started moving our manufacturing to China. Now, because the young kids don't want to do the same jobs and work as hard as their predecessors, they want middle income, middle American jobs, but in China. So what would you call that? Middle class. So they don't want to do the same jobs. There's active propaganda in China right now to try to push people back into the factories to make this stuff. The truth of the matter is no one wants to do this shit. No one wants to do this shit. They want to do this shit in the sense of like upgrading their lifestyle, but they don't want to do this shit forever. So like China was fine doing it for the last 30 years, but now they're no longer fine doing it. So what's happening? They're moving it to India. They're moving it to the Eurasian Peninsula and the subsequent islands. So like the Philippines. I'm kind of drawing a blank on some of these countries. Forgive me, but like
Southeast Asia.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a lesser cost for labor, but you're going to eventually get to the point where you're not going to need the labor. So then that becomes like a more like existential question goes back to my thing of like, okay, well, if not everybody can be an overachiever, if not everybody can be an entrepreneur or like a business starter and all these other things, the top 10%, what are you going to do about the other 80%? Are they just going to be out of jobs? The truth of the matter is the economy runs on the consumptive capabilities of your middle class. That's the truth.
And if there isn't a middle class,
they're going to give another COVID to kill the 80%.
That is one conspiracy theory about, what do they call that? Reducing the lines of the herd or something like that.
depopulation.
I don't know. I think that there are two ways to look at it. You could look at the abundance, you could look at it from the perspective of the hurdles that technological advancement makes, and you could start looking at humans as like a detriment. I think that is like literally anti-human. I think that is like anti-God, that is anti-life, that is the worst way to look at it. Or you can look at it as an opportunity of abundance. I mean, there's a direct correlation between the population of humans on this planet and advancements of our society, from the wheel to fire to proper sewage and water maintenance to roads. These advancements of technology to the Industrial Revolution, they didn't like kill off humans. It created more humans because now we have such an abundance to hold all these humans. And I do think that AI, that technology, both software and hardware, will allow for more of this abundance. But we have to choose it. Like as a society, as a people, as a species, we have to say that our value as people is not correlated to our work, to our labor capabilities. It is intrinsic in us that we are all created equal in the eyes of our Lord. And this goes back to our founding documents, and why the reason why I say it's America is not because I live here. The reason why I say it's America or nothing is because we're the only country that has within it the abundant, the existential wisdom of the founding fathers to look into, to peer through the curtain and see the future, to see where we were going as a species is so apparent even today, because we are all created equal in the eyes of the Lord. What does that mean? You all have inalienable rights that I cannot take from you. No matter where we go as a species, no matter what technological advancements, no matter if I build a power station, whatever the fuck around your church, you have inalienable rights that I cannot take from you. You only have that here in America. And the Europeans, because we have like 3% of the people that watch, overseas. Sorry, you don't have that. If you live in the UK and you can get arrested for a tweet, don't at me. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you live in Australia and if you didn't get the jab, you couldn't work, don't at me. Sorry, it's only America.
I do think COVID was a test of that, to see how far that can
Absolutely.
go. Yeah.
I had a buddy, Matt Frazier. He looked at me and said, "Isn't it scary how close we came to losing our freedoms and liberties?" And I told Matt, I go, "No, isn't it testament to the strength of the Constitution and our Bill of Rights that we still have our inalienable rights?" I look at it as an opportunity. It took a pandemic and all this other bullshit, and we still have our rights. It shows you the strength of our founding documents. It's not a scary moment. It's an emboldening moment. No one can take this from you, even in the presence of death.
Even Fauci.
Not even Fauci. Even Fauci. That's why I go back.
By the way, I swear to God, I saw Fauci the other day. I doubt it was him, but I was in Wolfram Road and 94. Maybe it was him. I looked over, I was like, I swear to God, that's Anthony Fauci.
Do not promote violence on this podcast in any way, shape, or form. And SteinBros Company only wants you to love their hot sauce, and in no way, shape, or form want to cause harm to anybody on this planet. The reason I bring that up is I do think that there's two sides to every story. You can look at all this shit that I said today, and I'm sure if you wanted to break this episode down, you could be like, Arion, but what about this? Arion, but what about that? I'm sure there's a lot of hurdles that I didn't discuss in a 2-hour and 3-minute podcast. Forgive me. We can always debate it whenever you want, loser. But what I am saying is there's two ways to look at this, like positively or negatively. And the alternative is, what is the point anyway? Implosion is inevitable. Why try? I refuse to live that way. I choose optimism, not because I choose it, because it's the only course of action I can take. It's the only course of action. Yeah. I refuse the alternative. I refuse it. And I'm willing to die for it. Yeah. If that had to happen, I'm willing to die for it. Because I would rather, what's the age-old quote? I would rather die on my I would die on my feet than live on my knees. The reason I love this country with such immense gratitude and reverence is because it gave me everything I have, including who I am. The reason why I think the way I think, the reason why I have such abundance now, even though I came from poverty, is not because someone handed it to me or forced me into it. Failure was always an option. I just didn't choose it.
Yeah, and we have great opportunity.
There's greater successes that I could have chosen, but I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't smart enough. I couldn't capitalize on it. It's not anybody else's fault but mine. I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. And I'm blessed beyond compare when you compare my life to whatever I could have been in any other time in history before America, before rights as we know it. I could have even been born in this time, but in another country. I am so immensely lucky, graced by God. Thank Him. The reason I bring this up is, and the reason why I'm so passionate about this topic is, there seems to be this black pill that is so prevalent in our country. And I think that is just such a poor communication. And it's like, you have no idea how much opportunity we have, if only to seize it at the individual level, at the medium level, and at the macro level.
Yep.
You really do in this country. And this is what I will say. If the day that ever comes that America implodes, then I'll join you all. I will join all the black pillars, because if America ever implodes, there is no second. No. We enter the
for
dark
the record,
ages.
I am definitely not a black pillar.
Yeah. But we enter the dark ages for the next however many generations. This is it, boys. It's the only shit that exists. Don't sink it. That's why I believe in entrepreneurship. Because when people, there is something to be said about the investment of people and like buying houses and all these other things, because it gets them invested into the culture, the societal norms and all these other things. When people own their homes, when people own their cars, when people own their land, they're more invested in the American experience. And now there's a lot of criticism that you can give to where we're at as a society and the trajectory that we have. And by all means, I want people to voice those opinions, but I also want people to come with constructive responses, not just criticism. What is your solution? Is your solution to take from he and give to thee? Well, then your solution's been tried. It's failed.
It's failed.
By the way, it's been trying right now, and it's failing. So what other solution do you have?
Specifically for the data center thing?
No.
I'm a little confused which level we're talking
Sorry.
about now.
This is like a high level. For the data center, I think I've given you my synopsis.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little
Harsh.
cuntish. You know what I mean? I am. But it is not only what I feel, it is what I know to be true. If we come back here from 2 years from now, maybe you guys band together and you get the data center moved. Maybe you're right.
Probably.
But if enough people
But it's just going to be someone else's issue.
not even someone else's issue. It'll be
Well,
someone
the
else's.
next town it goes to, the
it'll
next
be
town's
someone
gonna
else's
bitch.
opportunity.
Just like you said with Matt Frazier.
It's opportunity.
same thing.
I don't look at this as like, oh, our electricity prices go up. Yeah, but you're gonna have 1,000 jobs that pay $150,000 a year. I'll tell you guys this right now. I don't even know what my bills cost. I literally don't. I make so much fucking money that the shit that costs me money, I don't even fucking know. I don't. Sounds like you have a money making problem.
Congratulations.
And right now, no, but I'm not trying to like, oh, I'm the shit. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is your mindset is of today because you have scarcity. So you think my electricity bill will go up. Okay, well, what if you do get the data center? Apply for the job over there and get a salary increase. Then even if your electricity prices go 100%, your bill goes from $200 to $400. If you make $40,000 versus $120,000, you won't care. It'll be immaterial. You won't even feel it. I'm sorry, but like history is written by people that tried to like, get in the way of progress. Where's their corpse?
I don't think my recommendation is necessarily to cancel the project.
Yes.
I think my recommendation is to move it slightly elsewhere.
How much would they have to move it?
But he's only on that because
Is
he's
it
invested.
2.5
It's
to
his
5
church.
months?
If it wasn't his
Is it
church, you wouldn't say
easier
that.
to move a church or is it easier to move a data center? Imagine a
Yeah.
mouse is in front of an elephant and it says, "Get out of my way."
Yeah.
Well, it isn't built, so it's not moving.
Doesn't
But
matter. As the process started, is the capital behind it? More importantly, have your politicians been lobbied?
I'm pretty sure. I'm getting the
I mean, the
vibe.
land's
The
that-
answer
probably
to
already
all
been
those questions
sold.
are yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the mouse is telling the elephant, "Get out of my way." Or more importantly, don't walk on me.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
But
the mouse just get out of the way?
the reason I kind of brought all this
Matt's
up
a big
was,
mouse, though.
I am a big mouse. Is like property rights. Like,
Okay.
What right does someone have to establish a gigantic nuisance next to an
What
established
right
organization?
don't they have? Like, meaning, what law is in place to prevent them?
I mean, noise ordinances, but
No, they change that when it brings in.
And
You're
that's the
not
thing.
some thug with subs. You're fucking trying to.
Well, no. But
move
Matt,
America
but Matt brings up a
forward.
good point, and that is like, does might make right? And by that logic, then, do we have rights? Because if my rights can be infringed upon at any moment, then do I have them realistically speaking? And you're right about everything you're saying. So like maybe the alternative is you do come together and you do get them to move it 1,000 yards north or whatever.
yeah.
But my argument was like a little bit more nuanced in the sense of like, to what end?
You know what the answer is? The church needs to tell data center they want 10%.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that wouldn't.
Give us your tithe.
They're gonna.
Give us your tithe and.
But here's
I think
another
my
thing.
primary
But here's another
objection-
thing.
Only
Shouldn't
joking.
the church look at that as an opportunity? You're about to have a bunch of high earning people right down the street from you. You should be putting up a sign that says, "We love God and God loves you."
Yeah.
It'd
yeah,
be great
come
to
over.
get more of an economic boom in Troy. That's for sure.
It's gonna happen
But
if you have a data center.
and we would get some jobs.
And if
that's for
Troy
sure.
becomes difficult and says we don't want one, okay, well we're
go
gonna
somewhere
go
else.
to somewhere else that does.
The problem is the data center
I hope I don't
is-
sound obtuse when I say this. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I don't care any of these things. I'm sure if there was a data center built right behind my house, I'd be very
You'd
upset
have some feelings.
for literally 5 minutes. For literally 5 minutes.
and then you
And then I'm
also
moving.
move. Yeah.
And then I'm moving.
And that's the problem I'm having, though, is that these deals seem slightly predatory because what they can do is they can approach a community, they can get basically a deal where they're paying basically no tax, the utility burden is being placed upon the citizens, And if the citizens band together and say no, then they just go, well, I guess we're not getting the jobs, and then they go find another city or community.
I wouldn't
to
call
prey
that
upon.
predatory because it's like, you know, if someone is trying to force themselves upon a woman and then ask for consent, and then the woman says no, so then they go to some other woman and try to force themselves on that woman, you know, like the act wasn't necessarily done. So like, was there some emotional damage and all these other things? Absolutely. Like, does the city feel some repercussion from like what possibly could have happened? I'm not trying to dilute that experience or the emotions that tie to that, but was any damage really done?
For the act of proposition?
Yeah, I would make the argument that it's like the damage of opportunity cost, but like nothing was executed.
I would say no damage to the community has necessarily been done. I mean, if anything, if they band together, that could be a very good thing.
I would actually make the argument that is the inverse, that you guys actually, to your detriment, decided not to do it.
I mean, my recommendation would be to put it elsewhere in Troy. It would still be in Troy. We'd still get the economic boom.
But it goes back to what I'm saying. It's so much easier. It's so much easier to move your church.
Correct.
It would be easy to move a data center.
Yeah.
Matt will die on this hill.
No, it's not even. By the way, I'm not even arguing. Like, by the way, I hope you understand that. Like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong by any means.
I know you're intelligent enough that
Like, I think like what you're arguing makes sense, and I think that actually the law is probably on your side. And if you're like to take this to battle, you probably have a higher chance of winning than failure. But what I'm asking is like,
you're trying to argue from a higher level that it'd be bad to lose out on the economic
is it so
opportunity.
bad to move the church? Is it so bad to bring in this economic boom to your town? Truly.
Well,
I would make the argument that moving the church is a small price to pay.
I think
So,
bringing an economic boom to a
good for a
community is
goose?
a good thing. I'm for that aspect.
You just want them to move it not in your backyard.
I mean, I'd prefer it not to be in my backyard. That's for sure.
Agreed.
But
Coming from the tech guy.
I mean, I feel like that bears weight. If I'm literally the technical director that's about to get surrounded by a data
But surely
center.
you understand your bias.
Oh, I know I have heavy bias.
Oh,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
However, I don't think my opinion toward the things with data centers has changed. They are necessary. They are, I think, going to be
They're
a part
inevitable.
of our intelligence defense.
Yeah, they're inevitable.
They have to exist somewhere.
Yes.
And they need to exist in locations that have good utilities.
What if I were to also add a different paradigm to it? Like the number of data centers that will need to be rows maintained is greater than any other thing that we've ever had.
We will need
It'll
a lot.
dwarf a lot of manufacturing that we've had, and it will require a lot of brain drain from other countries. And it goes back, if there's, I'll say this before we move on and talk back about hot sauce, and maybe you'll agree with me or maybe not. All of this would not be an issue if we stopped brain draining other countries and started uplifting our own populace. I genuinely believe that if you took three variables, you could solve roughly 80 to 90% of America's problems. Number one, balance the budget. Number two, instead of giving money, subsidize money. So instead of giving you dollars, I revoke the dollars that I would have taken from your taxes. Because that means if you're being productive and you're bringing in commerce, I just want less of a cut of that. So I'm promoting business instead of creating business that shouldn't be there, right?
Yeah, you have to work more to
And
pay
number
them,
three,
yeah.
stop outsourcing American labor.
Yep.
The H-1B is
a joke.
slavery. It's slavery in the year of our Lord 2026 in this country, because they're not bringing in the CFOs, the CMOs, the COOs. They're bringing in middle management. They're bringing in entry-level data analysts and stuff like that, because they can pay the Indian worker $16 an hour instead of paying the American worker $30 an hour.
Yep.
That's what it is.
They can fire him at any time.
And by the way, what's the cost of sponsoring an H-1B? Google me on this one because I want to make sure I'm right. I think it's like $5,000 an employee.
I think they increased it.
I think Trump was trying to increase it to 100,000, and then
Not sure if it was
Elon and
completed.
Vivek were like, "Yo,
Yeah, they were
if you do
fighting it.
this." But he revoked. Listen, I like Trump. I voted for Trump, but I'll tell him where he's wrong. He backed down on this H-1B thing, and I think that was a big mistake.
I think they made some meaningful
Sponsor
progress
cost
toward it a couple
H-1B.
months
That's
ago.
what you should Google.
Yeah.
And then Grok will tell you, or Gemini.
It costs between $2,000 and $8,000.
Oh, so I said 5,000. 2 for 2, boys.
There you go.
2 for 2.
It says, however, a new $100,000 fee applies to new H-1B petitions filed after the 21st.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Now
Recently
it's
updated.
Is that, by the way, for that new H-1B, the 100,000 one, you're saying for all new H-1B licenses, not individuals. Meaning, if a business, let's say Walt Disney has 150 licenses for H-1Bs, they can interchange these. They can send one Indian home, bring in another one. It's not individuals, it's licenses.
I think it's per head.
No, it's a new $100,000 fee applies to new H-1B petitions.
That's what I'm saying. But the H-1B is like, you don't say like, I'm bringing in Gabe from Israel and he's going to do this job that an American can't. What you're saying is I need to fill this role, and I put in this Indeed ad for, I said that you needed a master's degree and 5 years experience in this field to pay you $15 an hour. So when no American applies for it, then I can go to the American government and say, see, an American cannot fill this role. I tried. We had this job out for 3 months. We even tried to hire internally. No one wants it. I have to get labor from overseas. Guys, whenever you introduce bureaucracy, you have to start talking in like a lawyer's language, because it's a game. Whenever you think of law, think it's a sport that no one told you about in high school. That's what law is. Basketball, football, soccer, it operates under the same purview as law. The only difference is it's language versus a physical activity. So whenever we create things like, $100,000 a head, is it though? Because I guarantee you this, Adam, if they did make that for like to where it was actually impacting these companies, they would have never done it. What they'll do is they'll do it in a way that doesn't actually impact them, so they can save face and not cause change. That's the politician 101.
I'm not sure if there is or is not some type of loophole that makes it easier for the companies to bypass, but my at least impression when I heard about that $100,000 license.
Or maybe they wait it out. Maybe they don't do any H-1Bs for like the next 2 years and hope to God that the next administration, whether it's J.D. Vance or whatever the Democrats have, they'll overturn it. And that's also a possibility. Maybe I am incorrect. I'm not saying that like, I know that I come across as very obtuse and crass and like douchey and like I know it all. But like there is an instance of like where I don't like, I'm just going off of anecdotal evidence and human history that I doubt this has the impact that we think it does. Perhaps I am wrong, and if I am, please tell me, but I don't think I am. I think much more the case is there's a loophole that everybody's using because they're saying new H-1Bs. So like, I think there's by the way, there's a cap of H-1Bs annually. So it's like, does new mean that we have like 100,000 H-1Bs, and if we create 1,001, that last one has to be at the cost of 100,000? Like, what does that mean? And that's the thing. It's like you get the lawyers involved, you have to petition, all these other things. I want to talk about hot sauce. I'm done with this part of the conversation. But I hope your church doesn't have to move. But I also hope that if it does, or they do put this data center in, that you also would concede that there is an immense amount of positives that can come from this as well.
There are great positives that can come from it, ultimately. But it's still not great to have growing in your backyard.
I'll concede that. I will concede that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What do you think the solution will be?
The solution, I think, ultimately will be either it goes somewhere else, preferably in Troy, or they make an offer to buy the church and we move and get a nice new building.
I think this latter would be the best opportunity.
I think it'd be great if we got a new building. Of course, there's lots of sentimentality attached to our existing building, but
you'll be fine.
Yeah. If the offer's good, the offer's good.
Yeah. If there's anything I've learned, sentimentality can be bought. Oh, I miss this place. 100,000?
Yeah.
I miss this place a lot less.
How much would you sell your last name for?
Yeah. 4 mil? 10 mil? I had a professor that told me that. No, actually, I had a professor tell my brother who told me there's no such thing as bad jobs, only bad salaries. And you can extend that too. There's no such thing as a bad offer, only a bad offer. What that means is, it's not that the offer was bad, it's what they offered you was bad. So you're not if someone tells you like, I want to pay you for sex. Okay? Let's say I wanted to pay you for sex. Would you be offended at me trying to buy sex, or would you be offended at the price? I'll pay you for sex for $1. You'd be like, $1? Yeah. I'm at least worth $2. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not the offer that I made to you that offended you, it's what I offered that offended you. So that's kind of the context in which I'm trying to explain.
He thought I was a $2 whore. He doesn't know I'm high class.
5. I like Lincoln. All right, let's talk about hot sauce. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We started with hot sauce, got into IT, went down a rabbit hole. You expanded your catalog of products. You have hot honey. You have the Louisiana style. Now you're telling me that you guys have a hot sauce that's like, what, a smoky flavor to it? Like a barbecue sauce?
Roasted. It's delicious.
Is it in
really
that
good.
bag? Is it in that box?
You ready to try
Yeah,
it?
fuck yeah. Please.
I have my chips.
Like I said, my
chips
dick
down
can
in
only
the
get
car.
so hard. By the way, Matt, I think this is like the longest me and Matt have ever talked to
Oh,
each
yeah,
other.
for sure.
Yeah, but you can bring that into the... Yeah. Yes, that's a
Yeah,
good...
it's good to get to know you.
Yeah, sorry, man. Let's... First conversation, let's have a philosophical debate about utilitarianism.
Yeah, no, like that's normal for me.
You sound like you come across good circles.
I
Matt, I might like you, Matt.
might like you too. No.
That's A man and B man.
Oh, that's a 2-for-1 deal right there.
So we got...
All right, so I brought in a couple
Oh.
competitors and I had to cover them.
Did
up,
you
so
cover them?
could-
Are we doing a blind test?
No. This is not.
Okay.
This is not mine, but this is a competitor.
Okay.
Where you can be like, you know.
Who's good, who's not?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
you're putting me on the spot. I hope I answer correctly.
I hope you like
Yeah,
old
you just have to pick the ones that have a brand name on
Is
them.
that a rotisserie chicken?
Yeah,
when did you buy this?
on the way here.
Okay, thank God. Because if it's
Last
like
week.
yeah, if it's like more than 3 hours, we're about to all have the shits.
It has a 2-year shelf life.
Right, so
The hot sauce.
we still have everything. I'll show it to you first, and then we can turn.
Okay.
I kinda
Actually,
changed my
I
ways
haven't
up a
had your
little bit.
Louisiana style,
No, it's
so.
new. You haven't tried this.
Dude, you're putting me on the fucking spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I don't pick your thing, I'm gonna feel.
Don't screw around.
Well,
Change
don't
the
turn it to
label.
me. Turn it
No,
to
I
me.
want to show you first,
Okay,
and then
okay.
you can kind of.
Okay, so I've had El Toro. I haven't had. Okay, so I've had peach mango, I've had the jalapeno, and I've had the pineapple power bomb.
Yes.
But the hot honey, the Louisiana style, and the El Toro. Is this your hottest?
No, it's not hot. It's actually my most mild.
Really?
Although it looks spicy from the.
Yeah, because it was super red. So I've had these 3, and we still have 2 of the bottles on the
Yeah.
stage or the stage studio. Okay, so what is it that you want us to do, or me to do?
Well, here first. We'll crack them open for you.
The new products.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give the camera a good.
Yeah, please do. Actually, you're better off. Do me a favor, Adam. Go to his camera and then hold it up to your face. That's gonna be the best. Yeah, higher. Yeah. So this is the hot honey, the Louisiana style, and the El Toro Loco, or Toyo Loco. Am I just-
Toro, the crazy bull.
I'm not fucking cultured, dog.
I don't speak that.
I just talked
verbal
about how the
language.
tech oligarchs. Oh, I'm not gonna open these because I've already tried these. Do you want me to open these?
You don't have to. I just brought them up because have the whole line.
Don't
up.
give these to Adam for free because he loves them. He should pay for them.
Deal.
There you go.
You can have them for $10 a piece.
Adam, I'll buy them for you. I got you.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait to try that smoky one.
Oh, it's
Smoky.
good. Yeah,
Alright,
these
which-
ones we open, we'll leave for you.
Which
for
one's
sure.
the smoky one? Just out of curiosity.
This guy.
The
right
El
here.
okay, this might be the one I like the most then. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just like grabbing chicken and like fucking trying this.
Yeah,
Go
here,
for it.
I even brought napkins and everything for you.
We have sporks in case you wish to get fancy.
I'm glad I wore a 3-piece suit.
It's
I
gonna
was
be a real
also
test.
curious. Are you wearing an undershirt too?
No.
I was
No.
gonna say, man, you got to be boiling alive.
No.
I'm
No.
boiling
I know,
alive, and I
I'm
only have like a
Really?
single layer shirt. Well, I'm always.
You know what it is? You just get used to it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. The first. Oh wait. You want to know? You want to talk about sweat? My first podcast with Whitney McAllister, I literally had to bring in a second shirt. The ad that we did, or like the fucking whatever break we did, I had to go change shirts because I was sweating so much. But not from like heat or anything. I will say this too. I think a lot of what you guys feel is like anxiety and pressure. That like, oh, I've done 137.
It's because it was your first one. You were nervous.
Yes, like for you guys, you're like,
It was like your interview.
yeah, you guys are like, oh, I don't want to say anything stupid. Meanwhile, I'm like, fucking, let's go, boy. It's like, let's be retarded. All right, so
like,
which one would
push
you like
the
me to try first? Sorry. But no, I don't wear an undershirt.
You try this. This will be your favorite. You'll love it.
We're setting this up.
should
No,
work his
I will
way
try
up.
the hot honey first.
All right.
There you go.
Are they open it? Do I need to open up?
You got graham crackers on you? You didn't bring them?
It's all in the car. You want me to run out and
Graham
get it?
crackers?
Graham crackers. Well, it's good on a graham cracker.
Want me to run out and grab them? Or...
Oh my gosh. We did not do this. We'll do it live.
Want me to run out and get it?
Should
or
he?
no?
No.
Just try it plain on your finger.
It is good plain.
I'll try it on the chicken. You never put like anything sweet on
Oh,
your
I
chicken?
put honey on the chicken. Yeah, it's got a hell of a top on it. That's how you know it's not
Sorry.
whatever.
Whoever eats this after me, I just
No, it's you.
fucking
All the
hold
ones
it.
that we open, we keep.
All right,
forgetting.
thank you. I just put my whole finger.
He's gonna start like calling us back to the show every month.
I've actually never had hot honey.
Ah,
Well, try both of them so you can see how much better ours is compared to the. No pizza. But that's what people like it on.
That's an interesting. I love this. This dude, you know what I need to do? Like a fucking. You want to try it? Yeah. Come here.
Of course he does.
come on over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, try a little drop of
It's
it first.
it's not super hot, so like I think you'll be fine. Oh shit.
Hey, it wasn't on the suit.
Yeah, keep eating it. Yeah, thank God.
And then try it compared to the competitor.
1 second, I haven't tried it myself. I mean, I've tried it, but let me try it on the chicken. We bought a whole rotisserie chicken for this. I'm being put on the spot.
Hey, it was $5.99.
I'm enjoying this.
Love that it's not like, super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's really good. Slaps,
Why
right?
would you not put this on chicken?
Well, I mean, it's just good on everything. I like it on rice.
This is just called sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, that is
Well, here's the problem, though.
hot
Like,
honey sauce
Okay,
is what
okay.
they call it.
Okay.
But look at the ingredients. Compare the ingredients.
Let's do that first, actually. Is this open?
Yes, that is okay.
Okay. Ingredients: honey, distilled white vinegar, natural flavors, including chili extract. That's
All the big,
That's very
all the
vague,
big
though.
spicy honey companies are doing that.
But can I say that though? Like natural flavors.
Yeah, and vinegar. Why?
You could come in my hot honey, and that's a natural flavor.
Yeah, unfortunately.
This. Why are you laughing? Am I wrong? Ingredients: honey, Scotch bonnet pepper. It's got 2 ingredients.
Right?
No natural
All the
flavors.
big honey, all the big hot honey companies you see are honey, extracts, and
Dude,
vinegar.
I didn't even know hot honey was a
There's no
product
reason
until
for that.
you.
Look how much more plain that is. Not bad. Definitely not bad. But it just doesn't have, not even comparable.
It's bad. I'll tell you why. The honey that you guys produce or use in this, is it like? Let's talk about the honey first because there's a lot of like industrial grade honey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did when I was fighting, I would cut a lot of weight. One of the ways that I would keep my insulin levels high is I would add honey to my water. Honey and lemons to my water. And I would drink gallons of water a day. And it was a way to kind of spike my insulin because I wasn't eating. I was down to like 400 or 500 calories a day.
Jesus
and 160
Christ.
of that was my water because I would add honey and stuff to it, right? That is fake honey.
That's
That's
because,
not
and
real
that's what
honey.
you're tasting. That's why you see natural flavors.
Yeah, that's fake
extracts,
honey. I
vinegar.
didn't even have to taste yours to say that was bad.
Yeah, and that's
Because
what all the competitors are putting out right now.
Granted,
I can't say their names because I don't want to get in trouble.
My bias
But
is
they're all the
also-
same.
My bias is also that because of cutting weight as a fighter, I can tell the difference in alkalinity in water.
Yeah,
So like I refuse to drink Dasani, Aquafina. I just won't drink them at all, ever.
Yeah.
I will exclusively. Why do we have Fiji's? Everyone's like, "Oh, you're bougie." No, Fiji's the only bottled water. Like the Fiji is the
no, we're fighters. We know water.
Fiji's the
We know
minimum
water.
bottled I will drink. It's the minimum.
Yeah,
It's the barrier to entry. That's not bougie. I'm giving you guys the cheapest shit I drink.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here, I'll have your.
Sorry. So I will say this: your hot honey is really good. It's really good.
Oh no, the freakiest
You want some
thing.
chicken?
No.
You're just
I
gonna
got a
fucking.
spoon thing too.
You're just
I
gonna
got a
fucking
sport.
raw dog it.
So
I got a sport.
Give him a sport.
I have this in my house.
Oh, you have it, so you already know.
So yeah,
What is it? What do you have?
I have the competitors.
Well, nothing,
Oh, we can't say it. We can't say it.
nothing quite
Bro,
like
the
an A/B
competitor is
test.
dog shit.
So my sister loves this stuff. So I'm gonna buy one of those.
Well,
because if she.
I'm having to hold back from all of my comments. All right, I'm gonna try before I get to the. Okay.
Here's the freaky thing about
Like
the
you
hot
said
honey.
earlier, you don't know what
By the
you're
way,
getting
when am I
until
gonna
you
do the
taste
competitor? Am I doing the competitor for the Toro Loco or the Louisiana style?
So this is a Louisiana style.
So this will be go to the competitor. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save that for last. Okay. Perfect.
Here's the weird thing about the hot honey. I think it tastes just like cinnamon, and there's no cinnamon in it.
What's
Really?
the Scotch bonnet
No.
pepper where you
No, I
get the
didn't
cinnamon
taste
taste?
cinnamon. You know what I tasted? Real honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real honey has that like thick. What's the word I'm looking for here? Like natural. Okay, if you've ever.
You can taste the bee
You know what
vomit.
it is? You know what it
Literally.
is? If you've ever had venison of any kind, it has this like gamey flavor. Real honey tastes completely different from anything man can make. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like if you eat real honey, you immediately know, okay, like that's real. If that makes sense. I know that sounds stupid, but I'm also, you know, I'm a foreign man from a foreign land.
Well, when you
We're
process,
2.5 hours in this episode. You already believe me.
when you process pretty much any food, it changes.
I didn't know this was going to turn into like a taste test. This is fucking.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the best way to do it, right?
You brought me a whole rotisserie chicken.
Brought this man a chicken.
All right, Louisiana style.
That one is phenomenal. I love it. I was like, I can't own a hot sauce company and not have a Louisiana style, because if anybody closes their eyes and hears hot sauce, they picture a red bottle of hot sauce. Oh, it's excellent. That's my sister's favorite. Phenomenal Louisiana, isn't it? It's the best you've ever had, probably. Now try the competitor. It's not the same. And this is from, I can't say who it is, but you can probably figure it out by looking at the bottle. And it's not cheap.
What is the competitor's price?
Here you can see it. Dude, this bottle sells for
Sorry,
like 13.
I got chicken fingers, so I'm trying not to like.
This sells for like $13, that bottle.
What does your bottle sell for? 10?
No, that sells for 8.
8. Oh, so damn, dude. Like we're talking about like 45 to 50% discount.
Yeah.
All right, competitor. They smell good too, though.
It's not bad. None of these are bad. It's just, you know, not nearly as good.
That honey was bad.
Yeah, he's like this.
That honey was bad. Wow.
Not bad, but
No,
it
both
doesn't
are
have
good.
the freshness.
Both are good. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I'm
He
going to do
likes it,
one
though.
more.
To be honest,
Yeah, both are good. Sorry, I got chicken fingers on all this. This is mine, right? So I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, keep them all. Yeah, I'm not worried. We got napkins and everything.
I feel like we need to add like wet wipes to our. chicken
Yours smells
tasting
way
kit.
better. Yours is better. Yours
Without
is
a
better.
doubt.
Yours is better.
We'll show you who. You can read it.
But I will say this
You can see
before
the
I
name
know.
through the top.
But I will say this: both were good.
Yeah, it is good.
Both were good.
Every hot sauce. These are hot sauces I buy for myself. I use them.
Also, ours is like half the cost.
Yeah, way cheaper.
Wow. You know what's funny? I've never had this one.
Yeah, and that stuff is
I
expensive.
feel bad for saying this out loud, but I've never had his hot sauce. Can I say it at this
No,
point?
no.
Okay. Long story short, both are good, but yours is better, hands down. I had to take a second bite though, so maybe I'm a little biased.
And ours has
No, it's good. I use it.
2,
Yeah.
3.
I mean,
ingredients.
I use my competitors' hot sauces
I will
because
say this.
I like
that,
them.
Okay, so let me, for context, that competitor's honey was objectively bad.
Yeah,
Like if you would have given me that first, and
that's what's everywhere. That is everywhere.
If you would have given me that first, and been like, don't you like hot honey? I'd be like, no, I fucking don't. Like I don't want to buy this anymore. You know what I mean? But if you give me the competitor's hot sauce, I would consume this. Your problem with that is going to be trying to get them off of that.
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem.
Well,
Does
my
that
price.
make sense?
Hopefully
Well,
the
well,
price
yeah.
gets in
The
there.
fact that you're 40% discount, that'll help too.
Yeah.
All right, fucking smoky flavor. I'm excited for this one.
This one's gangster.
Do we have a
You want to
competitor
try
or
these
no?
too?
Try that one too. Nope. I haven't tried this one.
Try his Louisiana. His Louisiana's fucking good.
You haven't tried Louisiana?
Gabe,
I was gonna say you had it.
Gabe, I'm going to say this right now. You have a phenomenal product. Before I even try this, every single one that I've had has been really fucking good. I will go on the record of saying that your only hindrance, your only hurdle is like recognition. Just
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
your name out there. The product will speak for itself.
Yeah, the art is
Hands
amazing. The
down.
flavor's amazing.
Not even, and I'm sure your graphic designer did
Well,
a
that's
great
where
job.
it grabs it first, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
sees the label before
Absolutely.
they can taste
But
it.
what I'm saying is much more visceral. Like the product is so fucking
Yeah.
good. It's so good.
And what makes it so
it's a
good is
joy
it's
to
just
enjoy.
simple. I do it right. I'm not a bunch of extracts and natural flavors and bullshit.
No.
It's
I mean,
just
you
peppers
should
and
look
vinegar.
at
I will say this. Now I'm getting a bit of a ready. You want some chicken?
Eric's getting hungry. Eric's getting hungry.
This is actually kind of a treat for me.
Eat up, big guy. Got a whole chicken.
All right, this is the smoky one.
Yeah, you should love
I'm
that
gonna
one.
go hard.
Oh yeah.
I haven't tried that one yet.
You haven't tried it? You've had to have tried variations of it. I've made
What's
about
like
10
the
variations
science
of it.
behind hot sauce? Like, there's got to be some.
You need 2 to 3% salt per weight of material, per weight of vegetative material. And then adding vinegar helps. You don't have to add vinegar, but the vinegar helps kind
This is
of
the best you've made.
I
cherry
have a
on
feeling he's
top.
not even listening.
This is the best you've made.
It's good,
This is
isn't
the
it?
best you've
He's
made.
just in bliss.
He's in heaven.
That one, I worked on that
Yeah.
recipe for a long time. And I wasn't going to do it because I felt like it was too complicated. And then once I kind of figured it out, I was like, no, I got this. Garlicky, smoky, sweet from the cayenne,
This is the best you've
smoky
made.
from the marita and the
I'm
guajillo
gonna say this.
peppers
I'm gonna
and the
say this
arbol.
too. You start them with this
Yeah.
because it's hot, but it's mild.
Yeah, it's not too hot.
The other ones are like,
Yeah.
if you already enjoy hot sauce. This one is like, have some, have some.
Yeah, here, just come steal
This
the-
is the best he's made.
I'm
And by the way, the pineapple one is fucking amazing.
So good.
Maybe it's
They're
my
all
bias.
good differently.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
eat
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So I'll eat the jalapeno hammer with steak, and I'm like, this is the best fucking hot sauce that I have. I'll eat the pineapple powerbomb
No, take
with
it
like
with the
chicken.
Take it with the chicken too.
Damn.
Yes, yes. That's what I'm saying, man.
It's good.
Fire.
Go ahead. This. It's not like we're gonna put it in the fridge after this. We're eating this and then we're.
Dude.
I'm gonna destroy this now. I'm
No,
not lying to you.
Go for it.
Take it up.
Eat
Take
up.
it up.
No, you're
It's
right
so
about that.
good.
You're right about that.
It's so good.
I agree with him. It's like, all right. Jump in, dude. You gotta start 'em
Because I don't want to do
bro.
one bite because you're not fucking, fuck you, dude.
Didn't the manager of
The guy who runs our
yeah
the guy who we rent our commercial kitchen from orders these all the time. He loves them. He'll use like half a bottle in like a sitting.
yeah
This
didn't-
is so good. That's what that. Okay. Here's
He'll
the other
just
thing
dump it on
here's
chips
the-
and stuff.
Here's the other thing I'm gonna say. There's actually like this inverse relationship between heat and repeat customers. Because the hotter something is, the less I'll put on. This is the reason I like the smoky flavor so much. Every bite I'm gonna have, I'm gonna fucking apply this. When you say he uses half a bottle, bro, I'm gonna use half a bottle tonight.
Yeah.
yeah it goes quick.
So doesn't shock me. I'll clean everything up. I'm having a good time. Sorry. Can you guys talk so I can eat this?
So what do you want to talk about?
Okay, let me.
So
ask
this
you
is this
What made you
recipe.
think of this?
So that recipe is based off of like a basic Mexican style sauce.
Have you
Just
tried
like a
this,
roasted
Adam?
Mexican.
No, I'm
Come here,
getting excited.
Oh, you gotta try it.
bro.
So
Film
tradition-
anticipation.
So traditional Mexican, that is based off a traditional.
Do it like upside down where the hot sauce is on your tongue, actually,
Yeah.
because like the chicken will dilute it.
The
Bro, insane,
The only
insane.
reason I still have a bottle, my favorite one's the green one.
The Hebrew hammer.
So the only
Yeah.
reason I still have a bottle of it is it's not in my fridge, it's on my desk at work. That's the only reason I still have a full. I
Yeah.
have a bottle left.
I hope people can see
I
this.
feel like the
Now
Hebrew
that one's
hammer
coming-
was so good
that
on
one's
eggs,
coming
but
home
this
with me.
one is gonna be like, dude, this on like a breakfast burrito.
Oh, dude, it's
It-
fire, yeah.
God,
It's gold.
Barbecue too, like I'll eat that on barbecue.
bro.
So that's based off of a
That's the thing.
traditional,
That's-
right?
Because then you
On a
extend
brisket
it
or
past-
something?
Forgive me for saying you extend it past just eating, but then also preparing the food. I'd marinate it in this.
Oh, for sure.
Does that make sense? Like if I'm doing like a good like if I'm doing hamburgers and I got some ground beef, I'll throw this in there with some salt, pepper, some seasoning. I'll let it fucking sink in there for a little bit. Will it heat up a little bit for people? Yeah, but the thing is, this is the most mild thing that you've produced.
Yeah, that
in
is my
terms of
most
heat.
mild flavor.
But in terms of flavor, the pineapple's the most robust. The pineapple is like, holy shit, that's a lot of flavor. When
Yeah.
it hits you with this heat. This is a step down in flavor, but like 16 steps down in heat, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You start people
much
with
more
this.
accessible.
If people do, if they're like, oh, I don't like hot sauce, I'm like, hey, you're gonna like this hot sauce. Like, relax. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
super hot.
I gave my mom. She's like got like no appetite for hot sauce. I gave her just like a little bit of I think the peach mango on like a piece of chocolate because our sauces pair well with chocolate. Oddly enough,
The fruit ones do,
the
not
fruit
these
ones,
ones.
yes.
Yeah, you were the one who got me on that.
Yeah.
She took a bite of it and she's like, ah, like it was just way too much.
Well,
for her.
here's the thing. Your hot sauce is hot.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
hot sauce is hot.
Yep.
We gotta know it's there.
I like it. But
So if you don't do heat, maybe don't try the fruity ones.
it's hard because it's like
This one's good.
it's kind of like alcohol. It's kind of like whiskey. Like if you've never had whiskey before, I'm not starting with like a 110 proof.
Yeah.
I'll hit you with like the Angel's Envy, like ease you into it.
Yeah.
This would
well,
be
that's how you should try spicy things.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
this-
mildest first.
this would be
because the
like-
heat will overtake your tongue.
Okay, let me add another variable to that though. It's not just about the heat; it's also about the flavor profile. Because you can make something less hot, but this tastes like you want more. Does that make sense? Like what I'm
Yep.
trying to
Yeah.
say. I'm putting extra.
Well,
on
I put
every
crack
fucking
in it
shit.
too, but I couldn't put that on the label. We'd left that
Crack?
part out. Yeah, keeps it coming back.
Is it bad
Legal
time to tell you I'm
reasons.
recovering at it?
Yeah, well, not anymore. Looks like you're back hooked.
I didn't realize we were gonna have dinner too.
Oh yeah, you know that's how
I
I
feel
roll.
bad because I'm eating in front of everybody, but this is so good.
If this is all the sudden
No, I
came from a
planned it all. 'Cause
podcast
That's the
to a
best way to do
mukbang.
it, right? I'm not gonna just be like, try this on a spoon. You know, you
I'm
want
glad
to
I
try
didn't take
it
like
with
3
something.
days, like 3 hours extra or something like that.
Whiskey too, bro. Like a smoky whiskey. It gotta
Dude, I've been drinking. Maybe here's the problem. I've been drinking, and you know what I mean.
Everything's better when you're drunk. It might taste like shit.
No. No, I'll tell you this: it amplifies. It doesn't dilute. It amplifies. If you like something and you're drunk, not that I'm drunk, but like if you drink, you ever have like those? You know what it is? The 3 a.m. Taco Bell.
Oh, I was literally just thinking about Taco Bell.
Why does
When
it
you're
hit so
drunk, Taco
good?
Bell,
Not because
it's
you don't
not-
like Taco Bell, because you've had a night and you're really wanting some Taco Bell, and it just fucking hits perfect. That's kind of how I feel right now. Like, all right, I'll fucks with this.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's good. That's my favorite.
here's the other thing. I'm not being overwhelmed. I've had like 6 bites now of this.
What is this? That way, so the
El
viewers know
Toro
where to
Loco.
get it. The El Toro Loco, baby.
It's maybe it's also biased because I told you earlier that my favorite like Tabasco sauce
well, I mean,
was the hot.
Mine too.
Sorry, the barbecue
Yeah.
one, the
Yeah.
smoked one specifically.
Tabasco's like, there you can't beat that.
You can. I'd make the argument that you guys have.
Well, in
Well, we just
quality
gotta get it
and
in everybody's
price.
Have you
Sam.
ever thought about like talking to Chipotle or something like that? Because they're franchise owned. So like the reason I even know about Tabasco is because when I went to Chipotle, they have like the
Yeah.
Tabasco bottles there. If you go to like these Mexican restaurants, they have Chilanguita, they have yeah, insert your brand. I know that you guys are like also doing the retail like with Deerberg, Schnucks and stuff like that.
No, we want to be everywhere we can.
Yeah.
Have you talked to these restaurants?
No, I have not.
I think I have a restaurant that I have a Mexican restaurant that rents a commercial property I have. I think we should talk.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
No, the more the merrier. Because that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. My product, when people taste it I only need people to try my product once, and they will probably be a lifetime customer.
Yep.
Because it's not that expensive.
No.
And it's really good.
If it's comparable,
Yeah. The price is comparable, and the flavor is way better than everybody else's.
this is the best product you guys have produced.
Yeah.
As I think it. This is phenomenal. Well done. Seriously.
Thank you.
I have
No,
I have chicken
I don't
hands.
mind the
Give me a
chicken.
nug, Give me a nug. I have chicken hands. I'm sorry. Last thing I need is salmonella later. But I was not anticipating this, but it is a welcome surprise. And I also like the fact that you guys are like, well, okay, because one of the things that we're going to get from this conversation, sorry, I don't want the chicken to be in front of me forever, but it's fine.
Yeah, we'll throw it on the ground.
Adam, sorry. Adam, do you mind just moving this table for a second?
Yeah.
Just pick it up and just, thank you, sir.
He's like, oh, mine.
It's not that, and I appreciate you, Adam, thank you. Have you tried that yet? Try it on the chicken. Try it on
Yeah,
the
you
chicken.
gave him-
Put me on a wide shot. You have my permission to eat a little bit. Dude, it's so good. And here's the thing, too. It gets better with every bite. That's the other thing. You're
we
not
were saying about getting into restaurants. I ate at a Global Quesadilla today.
Oh, I
And
love
if-
Global
if-
Quesadilla.
If they had an option where I could put, hey, you want to add this to your quesadilla? 100%.
Mm.
Yeah.
Places like that.
Well, no,
You know, I
actually,
thought about
actually,
getting
actually
into
don't do it like
Vivolas.
that. Don't add it to it. Make it optional so that people see the brand. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
I thought about talking to Vivolas. They follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
They have the best sandwiches in St. Louis. You ever been there?
Yeah.
Oh my God, their sandwiches are so good. But I thought about I just didn't get around to it. I
You
guess
should reach
life
out to
got me.
them.
Yeah, I need to reach out to them. Talk about maybe making like a specialty sandwich where it's
Just-
just included and it's on the menu. They see SteinBros.
No.
yada, yada.
I could not disagree
You
more
don't
on
think
that
so?
last part.
Just have it as an item to
if
to
the
grab
goal
and put.
if the goal is notoriety, if the goal, what did I tell you? Tabasco smoked. Why? Not because I saw it on some fucking menu. I would have
Yeah.
never even known they put it on there. But because I saw it and I was like, oh, smoked. Like, by the way, this is like when I was like 22. I didn't really like hot sauce, so I was like, smoke sounds good. I like barbecue. I did that and I was like, oh my God, this is good. But I chose it. I saw it and I chose it. So like, what I would tell you is, don't implement it into the ingredients of whatever it is that they're
It'll
selling.
get lost, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Like,
Make
like
it stand out on its own.
dude, put the bottle on the table.
Yeah.
Do you guys have hot sauce? Yeah, it's right there. Oh, what is this? I've never seen this before. That is the best.
They'll either buy it or steal.
That's how I know.
Yeah, they'll
That's
steal
how
it.
I know Tabasco, Chilanguita. That's how I know sriracha. I know sriracha from what's that? Soul Taco. I know sriracha from Soul Taco. I never
Yes.
bought a bottle of sriracha before.
Hey, that's where I started using sriracha a lot too.
Yeah, because of Soul Taco. I was like, oh man,
Yes.
this is really good. I know Tabasco from Chipotle because they had. I never went to a Schnucks and thought I want hot sauce.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to go to the hot sauce aisle to, like, amplify what, my
I
omelet?
never even saw this.
I didn't even know I liked hot sauce until I realized that hot sauce was something that I could put on, like, white rice or my egg whites and whatever to amplify the flavor when I was cutting weight. But the average American is not using hot sauce to amplify, like, the flavor of bland foods. They're using it to amplify whatever it is they're already liking.
Yeah.
So the thing is, how do you encourage someone to change what they already like? You don't force it on them. You just put it in front of them. I went to Chipotle like 10 times before I did the smoked Tabasco. 10 times, like, oh, I got a bowl, I ate it out. But, like, if they would have put it in my bowl the first time, maybe I would have liked it. Maybe I would have. You know what I mean? But they also have that, you know, pico, the mid, and the high. And I always pick the light because it's not like you can't force something upon someone. You want them to choose it. Now the reason why I consume hot sauce was because not someone, like, showed me the light. It was because I stumbled upon it myself. You know what I mean? So I was going to say, Chipotle, I know, Tabasco. Because of, like, El Maguey and stuff like that, that's how I know about Chilinguita. Like, if I didn't go to these places, if I didn't see the bottle and choose to consume it, I would have never known about this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I would have never gone to Schnucks or Deerbergs and said, yeah, I want a bottle of that for my house.
That's a reason that we've gone with the art designs that we've gone with.
Yeah, your packaging is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'll say that right now.
One of our objectives
Homie
was,
killed it.
Oh, yeah. We wanted it to be something that you'd see and you'd want to touch.
Yeah.
And
Pause.
Yep. And we got it.
I think
I realize this is a $1 billion idea. I mean,
Yeah.
what I've created is the potentiality for it is so big.
Gabe, I'm not even gonna I don't disagree.
Yeah, you know what
I
I know
genuinely
it's-
don't disagree.
I have a real
Your
brand.
shit's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Now the only problem is, and by the way, that's like, I feel like that's half the battle, right? Build something and they will come.
Yeah.
Now it goes back to what we were saying earlier about the discipline
Build
and
something, you gotta
consistency.
get it to come, yeah, and just keep staying on it.
I
Keep
think you guys are on the
marketing.
right path, though. Sending the communications. We'll talk off the record. I'd be curious at who it is that you guys are emailing. Is it Schnucks or Deerbergs?
Well, we
It's a
talk with the
distributor.
distributor,
Sorry,
and he
sorry.
talks with Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Well, then maybe I can help you out. Seriously.
You know, we take whatever we can get. We are
I-
not,
sign
we're
us
not
up.
The people
just
that I
saying
talk to
no.
are more like the logistics, the freight. But like, let me see if I can get a. All it takes is me an email. Like, hey, can you get me? I got a couple guys that are building this thing. Can you get me into contact with someone that like handles with like inventory and like, even if we start at like a couple locations,
Yeah.
Yeah. Be
Give me
great.
one or two. The foot traffic will
No,
help.
yeah, it will spread.
But I do think that the commercial side will also help you as well.
That's what we want
Yeah.
both. I don't want just
Just
the
like a-
commercial side.
yeah,
Both sides.
And by the way, I'll say this, like a Mission Taco and stuff like that, they have their own hot sauce. You know that, right? And like I think they've realized this. So they're like, if we build a Mexican spot and then we provide our own hot sauce, it's like double dipping.
Yeah. I need to talk to Firehouse Subs. They have, I haven't got around to that either. They have, if you go to Firehouse Subs, they have like 100 different sauces to try from. I don't know about 100, but it's at least like 30 or 40.
They have a selection,
Yeah, it's a big selection, and you can. I figured out a lot of hot sauces I like from going to Firehouse Subs when I was younger, because I would just, if I liked it, I'd take a picture of it and then buy it later.
peruse. You know what's funny? Okay, let me. I have like a rough equation, but like let me see if you guys follow me with this one. Why do bars exist? Bars exist because yeah, you want a social place to like drink, but the reason why I go to bars more than anything is because if for specifically whiskey bars. I don't want to commit $60 or $80
Yeah,
or $200
sampling.
to a bottle to then realize I don't fucking like the whiskey. So I'll go to a bar and I'll buy the 2 ounce or the 3 ounce pour for $30 because I want to see if I even like it. And if I like it, Blackwell or Redwell or E.H. Taylor single barrel, Pappy's, whatever, I had to try it first to see if I wanted to commit to the thing. That's why I think the reason why I have Tabasco in my house or why I had it was because I went to Chipotle and I was like, that's fucking good. And then I went to Deerbergs or Schnucks, wherever the fuck I went, and I bought smoked Tabasco because I liked it so much at Chipotle. Not because someone sold it to me on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Not because someone put it into my meal unbeknownst to me, but because I chose it and I was like, yo, my fucking chicken bowl is like way better now.
Yeah.
Now this is like now every time I go to Chipotle, you better believe I take that smoked and I put half the fucking bottle in there. You know what I mean?
It's free. No.
Yeah. I mean, I
And you
can't-
have the security knowing that it's no bullshit in ours.
yeah. So like I guess what I'm
No
trying to say is
chemicals, no crap.
I
Just
agree with what you're
food.
saying, and I agree with what you're saying. I think you do have $1 billion company.
Yeah.
And I do think that like you guys should work harder on your marketing. But I think like e-commerce, I think retail, I think wholesale, I think all of it. Like, why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I think the problem I've been having is it's like I'm standing in front of a problem and I haven't quite figured out the best solution yet.
Yeah.
And I have some good ideas, but nothing's quite exactly right yet. I don't know if that's the right way to put it.
Well, also the problem is like you won't know if the metric for success will be like the success of the company. Sometimes decisions you make aren't necessarily directly correlated. So like you'll do something in March that won't pay off until December, but maybe you did something in November and you think, oh, that was what caused it. That's the other thing is like, so you guys added hot honey, the Louisiana style, and the smoked style, the El Toro Loco since last time we talked, right?
Yes.
If you pick off,
And that'll be it. We're not doing anymore.
if you pick off, maybe it was the peach mango, maybe it was that. We have no fucking clue, right?
Yeah.
Like you can start seeing it from the course of like success, like with metrics and stuff like that. But I guess what I'm saying is like the thing that'll like spark it, we have no clue.
No,
So
I
like
don't know.
do as much as you can, horizontally integrate. I think expanding the catalog is genius.
Yeah.
I've never had
think
hot
6 products is
honey
good.
in my life. I like hot sauce. I've never had hot honey.
I like it on my rice. Start putting it on your. I put salt, pepper on my
Yeah.
white rice and hot honey
Let me also
Phenomenal.
say this: there has not
and
been
on my
a-
sourdough bread.
There has not been one product that I've tried from you guys, now 6 of them, that I thought was not even bad or mediocre. Everything you've given me, I was like, damn,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thank my mother for being a horrible cook and my grandmother and my grandmother for being an amazing cook.
goes to.
And my grandmother was the great cook. Taught me, and I just started. I've been cooking since I was probably like 7, 8 years old.
I know that you have a passion for this as well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna sound super like sentimental, but I think when people, it's the same thing I say about fighters. You can tell the fighter that like fights for money and the fighter that fights for legacy or like is trying to go for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing in products and stuff like that. You can tell someone who's in it for just the commerce, which I want to say this out loud. There's nothing wrong with being in it for just the economics. If that's what drives you, God bless you. But I think there's something to be said about like true raw passion.
Yeah.
I do.
The
fact
people
that-
will think that like, man, Gabe gave me something good that they didn't even know they needed until they got it.
Well, the fact that you
I
guys
could have stuck with the sauce company that sucked, but I was like, I can't. I would have made plenty of money. I'd probably be making more money now if I went with them.
I disagree.
But
I don't think
it would have.
I don't think you'd be
it
selling
would've-
anything. I don't think you'd be selling anything.
Yeah, it just wouldn't
If
have been
it's
good.
bad,
Yeah.
like you ever
It wasn't terrible. It's just people didn't know what was good. I know what's good when I taste it, you know.
Yeah, but okay.
But I could have gave it to you, and
Okay,
you
but
might
then
have
you
liked
would've
it, but
had
you wouldn't
your-
have known how much better it could be.
You would have had your manufacturing at this place, and then you'd still be running the same issue of marketing.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%.
But you would be trying to market a subpar product.
which would be even harder, and I wouldn't be able to put my heart into it.
Well, you
And I'm a not beat around the bush kind of guy. Like if they'd asked me, I'm like, look, honestly, it could be a lot better, but you know, I'm trying to take the easy.
we got to
route.
work on your salesman. Best things
That's what
since
makes
sliced
me
bread.
who I am.
You know, fire is
But
the
I
second
know.
greatest invention. Liquid fire.
Yeah.
Gabe has been on here before. This is Matt's first time. I know that you've been on before. I hope this is what you guys expected. Forgive me for going down the trip of like politics / I did not think we were getting into global economics. And
I just wanted to like
what
dip my
about
toe in the water and
what
see
about
where it
this
went.
data center? Let me tell you what's wrong with Iran. My bad.
It was fun.
My bad. But I mean, fucking 3 hours, man, and time flew by, and
Oh, yeah.
I got to eat some chicken and some good hot sauce and some hot honey, and now my producer's gonna be like, yo, you gonna fucking take those bottles home? Before we put a cap on this one, is there anything else that we want to kind of touch on, discuss? I do have one more question. We've talked ad nauseum about like, you know, how we got here and what here means. But I would be curious as like, my last question to both of you is like, what would you consider this to be? What metric would you have to hit? What threshold would have to be achieved for you to consider this a success? I'm asking Gabe first. For the hot sauce company to be a success, what would that look like to you?
I mean, honestly,
Bugattis.
honestly, it's successful right now. It's there right now because the product is good. It is the good. Like when you taste it, everybody who tastes it knows. They're like, holy shit, this is something special. So we've already achieved that. Now it's just how much more successful do I want to get it, right? I'd like that success to bring a monetary value. Oh, that's about my best answer.
You know what I'm going to do, actually? I want to extend this to you guys. We've had some offers for sponsorships and stuff like that on the podcast, but like none of the products, with the exception of one, we might have a second sponsor. With your permission, off the record, let's talk about like, I would like to put your website and your e-commerce onto the podcast free of charge for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I would like to help you guys.
Sold.
We'll record something with like, we'll talk about like how logistically we'll do this, but I like the product. I like you as well, and I think that if there's anything that could come from this podcast, if I could sell one bottle for you guys, I consider that a success. So I would like to extend my platform to whatever capacity that I can to you guys to help you in this, because I do like the product, but more importantly, I like you both. If you guys will accept.
Of course.
Yeah.
Happily.
Appreciate it.
I do.
That's great.
Yeah. So we'll maybe this episode will be the first one we do it. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I want to execute on that one.
Excellent.
Forgive me, but because I interrupted. He considered this a success based on the product level, but I extended the question to you as well. What threshold or metric or something would have to be hit for this to be considered a success to you?
I think very similarly. I think for me, the standard of success is to make an excellent product. Now, ideally, getting higher sales is important in any type of business.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. So I guess technically I wouldn't define it as a success until it's
Break even.
Yeah, more of a break even. However, at the same time, like the time and money I've spent into this company, I see as an investment. And the way I invest is you don't sell until you know you're going to make money. So I see it as a success in the meanwhile. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter what the current value is, so long as it eventually gets good. And I do believe this is a company that will eventually carry a lot of value.
It's the first product that I've had that I'm completely okay with not making any money off of. You guys are doing it right. I like the quality standards. I like the way you approach it. I think business is people. More than anything, business is people.
Yep.
And I like you both. So if you will have me, here's the context. I also say a lot of wild shit on my podcast. So are you
I'm
sure?
Gabe Stein, don't you?
Are
Trust
you
me.
sure that you want your hot sauce
You only hung out
on
with me a
this
few
pod-
times,
The real
yeah.
question is, do you guys want me to?
I mean, hey, go for it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk then. We'll have a couple conversations off the record, but on the record, I wanted to thank you guys both for your time. And once again, I said it at the beginning, but I'll say it at the end. I was the one who had to extend. We were originally supposed to start at 6:30. I had a wake that I had to go to, and you guys were more than accommodating, and I very much appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you.